do this anymore. Now I'm lost without you. You drive me crazy out my mind. How'd you do this every time? Now I'm lost without you. Used to be the one I talk to when I'm sad. Can't you see now tainted love is all we have? Our issues run so deep, now when I try to sleep I feel so bad. I should leave and by the time it's done I'll be gone. I'll be
G'day folks. Alright, we are good to go here. We are live, we are ready, we have games up for grabs, we have a bunch of casts sorted and ready to play. Some good ones, I'd like to say hopefully they're all good ones, but of course they're going to differ compared to your taste. Different ratings, different, well, all sorts of things really. So that is basically what we've got lined up. Handful of casts to go, and afterwards, depending on whether there's anybody else floating around on and playing, I'll join up with that lot and have some more silly games with the ANZ crew. But that aside, if they're not there, I may drop into a different game. Just something to chill out the rest of the night. Trips, how are we doing, my friend? Nice to see you, mates. And I just about had another game of yours to cast, I'm going to be honest. Except it desynced halfway through, so that threw that out the window. Anyway, here we go. I do have the very first game up ready to play, and I'm going to launch it. And we're starting out with a team game tonight. Team game of Average Joes, and it's going to be a 5 versus 5, and we are throwing down on Serenity Reef once it finally loads. And this is the game we're choosing to start the night with, so here we go. Alright, Serenity Reef, mirrored map, so it should be even on the other side. Bit of reclaim around, 10,000 in total. There is a bunch in the middle, not a huge amount, but if you take into account all of that, it is, what are we doing? 3.5, 4,000 if you include the extra little bits, but we're not. Anyway, according to these statistics up here, we are looking at Team 1 at the top and Team 2 down the bottom, so let's go for Team 1. This is traditionally the front slot because it's a straight walk down for your commander, and going down here we have Kane. He's rocking himself up in the combat green Seraphim. Behind him we have Don Gringo, and he is red Seraphim. That often turns into a Navy slot because he's got to be right there. Up here is, well, I really don't know what the slot would play. It could be air. It's kind of up on the plateau, can't go down, maybe air, maybe some Navy or something, I don't know. Whatever the case is, it's Bernie Sanders, and he's gone burgundy. UEF, 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 hey yeah. Alright, and behind him is what often turns to another Navy slot, because we have another ramp going down there. It is yet another Seraphim. It is Anubis, not Anubis, it is his younger, stupider brother, Anubis, and he is gone fecal brown. Seraphim opening first here, and right at the back here, this is usually, well, it feels like it should be a Navy slot rather than air slot because there's not much space for P-grids, but it often turns into air anyway because it's right at the back. And anyway, this is Draven. He has gone Cybran and he's purple. Opening first lane, grabbing his Hydra up on there, and their opponents today. Down here for Team 2 in the front slot, we have Noel Winder. He is going a lovely brilliant blue, and he's Seraphim as well, so he's good to go. We have his first land factory and getting to work on a second air factory. In the back navy slot, I guess this is Ron Burgundy's, and he is going snot green Aeon. Up on the other navy slot, it is the Claw, and he's rocking himself in Lavender Cybran. In the, I don't know what spot this is, it is Right Guys, and he is yellow UEF, grabbing up a second air factory, and off he goes. Alright, and finally, to round off team number 2 at the back, we have Cadre of Le Shaytan. So that's like a mixture of two names there. So obviously we've got something Russian, which is the Cadre of. Lay, maybe for the French, and Shaytan, I'm sure I've heard that name before, and I suspect it is from the Wheel of Time books. Suspicion, vague memory, I think it's from that. Anyway, he is Cybran, and he is going in grey, and he's going air all day. One air factory, second air factory going up, so right by the hydro. Alright, so here's Reclaim in the middle. You do want to go and get it. It looks like we have Kane on the way, and he's going to be supported by Don Gringo. So have a look at the factions. There's got 3 Seraphim, 1 UEF, 1 Cybran for Team 1, and it's actually 1 Seraphim, 2 Cybran, 1 Aeon, 1 UEF for Team 2. So no Aeon for Team 1. I don't think they're going to regret it too much. There's enough of a disparity there. And this is a early drop for Nullwinder. Where's he going with that one? Well, he's decided to pop down into the middle and throw down some NGs just to get some build power there. Maybe put up some factories, or will he go straight for the reclaim? We shall find out. Either way, he's got problems incoming of the commander variety as well as some units. So those engineers need to get something done quickly, or they're not going to last out too much. First things down is a factory to get more build power out, and we do see a bunch of point defense planned. You probably want to get onto those sooner rather than later. And it'd be more beneficial to go and grab the reclaim while you can, instead of building the mass extractors. But he's doing him. He should apparently knows better than me, because he's at 1500. I'm just a lowly 1k rated player. Anyway, it was a good drop. He does have some control. Does have a factory down. A second one going up pretty quickly. And of course, the repay rate for tier 1 mass extractors is 30 seconds, if I remember the stats correctly. So as long as it survives for 30 seconds and it's paid for itself, because they cost, let's just check out the numbers here. So a T1 mass extractor, there we go, it costs 36 mass to create, and if they give 2 mass per tick, so it takes 18 ticks, and I think a tick is once every second or 2, I can't recall. Anyway, here comes the problem, and the problem is units. The problem is a commander. Bomber comes out, drops a bomb on these guys. They're going to have quite a disagreement with the bomb. In fact, the disagreement is they die and the bomb does not. Alright, T1 PD trying to get put up, but the commander's going to probably take that down before it finishes. Yep, there it goes. And now the walls go up nicely to protect that spot of nothing. But that's ahoy. Anyway, so that's one commander out, and here going to be able to cancel all of this, I feel, because he does have units coming in to support as well, and of course is that second ACU stomping his way up. So that middle cannot be a hold for Nullwinder, who thinks to himself, I don't want my comm up front, because there's every possibility these guys are going to keep pushing on forward, and if he gets caught out 2 comms on, he will have some issues. Checking out for other drops though, we have, looks like on the top left, the Claw is dropping up here, trying to combat Bernie Sanders. So it's going to be a Cybran versus UEF, 5 engineers building up here, and if only Bernie Sanders knew. If only he knew those are there, he would start popping out units and he would start going to stop that. But he doesn't, so he's not. So they're actually going to get a decent hold with some extra factories for more build power, because the Claw has scouted all that. He knows exactly what's there. If these guys go this way just even the slightest bit, they'll pick up that these units down there. There we go. There's a scout, kind of, and now they should know there's building. So this guy should get on his jolly and see about killing off all that. Bombs ahoy! That's a brilliant bomb. Brilliant. 1 bomb, 5 engineers, and a radar. and blocks the completion of that there. So right now, Bernie needs to get units down here fast. All these move. Move on down and he'll be solid and he'll have that island all to himself. The longer he leaves it, the worse it's going to get. Anyway, need to check back on the middle because that's a fair amount of units coming in from Kane. So he has pushed up quite so. And Nullwinder is probably going to be a gun upgrade, I think, to help him fight off all of this. And we see here Ron Burgundy has wandered his way up to assist. Going to help keep these units out of the way. You guys stop off when they find some buildings, go hee hee hee, I'll kill those. But the pause is possibly enough to get that completed. It's going up pretty quickly. I think he should be fine. He's got some units for zone and he's got some bombers flying over, although those are actually hostile interceptors. So yeah, that's not going to be down so well for them. And there we go. Gun is done. Those interceptors are going to land and they're going to die. As soon as they do. Yep, there we go. Terrible spot to land. Not that Nullwinder will care. Okay, up on the top here, and we see that, wow, Bernie's gone defensive. Got himself out a plasma cannon, but that's T1 Arty, which of course we all know T1 Arty defeats plasma cannons. All you got to do is rush out some units, get them on the way down. There's only the one factory there, there's no engineers coming out, it's just a few units. He has two factories with the build power to compete against it, could pop them out quite easily and find his way to destroy that quite easily. We hear that T1 Arty over there, it is having to go, or was it that one actually, having to go some Mantis, kills one, drags them into range of the point defense. That's not going so well for Bernie, he's just not being quite proactive enough to take care of that. And speaking of proactive, we have a drop here a while ago from Anubis. He has popped down factory, grabbed the mass extractors and is spamming out some Zooies who are going for a wander, going for the little hover annoyance, and looks like they're coming over this way, maybe trying to find some kind of naval factory which simply does not exist yet. I'm surprised there's no navy. So much water, you'd think there'd be a lot more focus on getting navy somewhere, but there's absolutely none. But there we go, there we have it, no navy. Right, these one factory popping out units is holding off these two. Although having said that, they're both producing now, so there should be a good amount of units coming out. And we have assisting bombers, although we now have a counter bomber from coming in from Ragaz. It's a Scorcher, and we don't have anti-air. We have interceptors in the area though, so it's probably going to go down. Once again, we have those units build up to a small critical mass, and they push in and kill things. So honestly, if we just pushed up to straight unit production, he'd be good. Anti-air turret, so he's concerned about further bombs coming in, which he probably should be, because there's another one, and that's another drop from the claw. Is that going off for the top island? No, he's decided to come back. I think he's going to maybe pick up some more things, or he's just trying to avoid the interceptors which he has seen loitering in the area. And that's a commander drop, so Anubis has decided to drop his comm over there, and that's very ballsy. Not a few interceptors in the area, so if he got picked up by those, that transport dies and he goes down, but he should be alright because he has managed to arrive. No problems up here. These few Zooies still hoping to find a naval factory. Unfortunately, all they're going to find are some bombs. No napalm because, well, you know, it's water. Besides, those are cybered anyway, so it's just small spray bombs. They're going to sit there and gradually die to death. Right, we have 3 comms up the front now for Team 2. We have Ragaz. He's just started the T2 upgrade on his comm. Going to try and push things back here. We have a gun upgrade just finished for Don Gringo. We have T2 on Kane, and hello, Bam. Welcome to my stream again. Nice to see you, mate. Not the first time you raided me, buddy. How you doing? Alright, Anubis has finished. Yeah, there we go. So he's got himself a T2 comm. He's thrown down a flag, so it should be safe from the air. And Aria, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. And there we go. Finally, this final little factory has died. It appears that Bernie finally pushed enough. We never have Vash everywhere. Of course I have Vash everywhere. Vash is awesome. Anyway. Island combat over here. We have, well, that is Nullwinder. He's got some units down here, but then so does Cadre. Question is, they're right beside each other with nothing but engineers. This factory's popping out engineers. No, that was not Dota follow alerts. You are very, very wrong. Anyway, engineer battle. Who's going to be the first one to notice his opponent is on here? Not Dota. Silly Bam. That's right. It's from a slightly older game than that. Slightly older. Let's check out how things are going. Nothing much in the air progress. Let's see what we've got tech-wise. Well, that's T2, getting some Corsairs out and some T2 power. So maybe there's going to be a bit of a sniper attempt, or they're just going to be harassing Corsairs. Perhaps that's a drop, and it's just engineers. Okay, so it looks like it's actually dropping just here. There they go. I suspect we're going to see a Navy build right here. Yes, no. Not sure about that. You could probably build it in here, get a bit of protection, and this is a Zooey drop, so we're going to keep an eye on that. I think he's going for the top plateau. He's going to see about doing some damage to Bernie Sanders. Yes, he is, so he is trying to plop them right here. Got a shield going up from Bernie. This could be just in the nick of time, depending. Oh, actually, I think these guys are going to get down first before the shield gets finished. And here they go. Zooey's down. Zooey's fire. Can they see what they're firing at? No, they can't. So they can't see anything, so they're not firing yet. They're going to start firing at that there. The shells come in, and the shield goes up. And that's going to help keep things alive. Is Bernie paying attention? Does he know they're there? Well, yes, he does. So that was very, very unfortunate timing there. Looks like they have tried to redirect the Zooeys onto something else to kill them. Maybe this up here. If we can get a few shells off, he could perhaps do some damage. So far he's killed some engineers. One Zooey gets away to wreak havoc. Moves in the wrong direction because the commander's sitting right there. And gets reclaimed by the engineers. Doesn't quite get that down. So, very, very fortunate on that shield timing. Very fortunate. How's that top session going? Well, it's fine. Nebus is over here. He's grabbed himself a mix, grabbed himself a shield to hide under. And down here, well, they still haven't really noticed each other's buildings. How can they not? This guy's on a patrol order, I guess. Yeah, factory's just sitting there. He's even upgraded these mixes to T2. All it's going to take is naval yards. You know, I'm a dumbass. They're on the same team. Of course not going to fight each other. Oh my god. I'm an idiot. I'm also pressing on the speed thing. I thought this was between that guy and that guy. Wow. Observant day today is not me. Where is Navy? Asks Kane. Well, Navy is here. There you go. Got an HQ right here, which is building nothing. This should change. Destroyers would be a great thing to take care of that. We have this Zooey swarm coming. That will take out some frigates quite handily, but do nothing against submarines. The middle's looking like a pretty solid hold though. We have Don Gringo is doing... I'm guessing that's an upgrade because I don't see anything building. He's got the tech launcher, looks like. Yes, hovering over, I see the little icon down here which says tech launch, so he's building another tech to launch. Kane just has T2, he's popping up another shield. And we have... oh, T2ID is not a bad solution. However, what is he going to tech launch against? Well, here we go. That's one missile. Let's see if he's going to actually launch at anything. Shall find out. And that Navy is being pesky on the top, trying to smooth things out. Some Zooeys around to assist. Not launching yet, just being idle. We'll try and keep an eye on that. Top Island is firmly and securely in the hands of Team 1. It is Average Joe's. I mean, you say it's like Average Joe's. It is Average Joe's. Got a couple of borderline pros, but yeah. That's the level I play to. Still hasn't launched that attack. He's built it, but he hasn't launched it. And now there's 1, 2, 3 artillery fire. So Ron Burgundy's gone. There you go. You've got some artillery. You're on your own now. I'm leaving this to go back to my base. Because he's focusing on... that's the T3 air factory. So that has just begun. He's also getting into the Navy games. So that's not great news. Over here, that's still a T2 air factory for Shaytan. control gate that one so he can pick up the mass and upgrade stuff, but he hasn't done that yet. Decides he doesn't need as much power. Here we go, T3 air shift to start off him. That's going up pretty darn quickly. Do we have T3 air over here? Well, we don't, but it's well ahead on the upgrade, but it doesn't have the assistance, so it may end up being longer. Me, 1200. Oh god, no. Maybe once upon a time was a 1200, but no, I'm pretty solid 1k at the moment. I imagine if I actually played every single day and practiced and got better, I could get back to 1200 plus, but I don't. I'm quite happy being a completely average 1k player. Just to enjoy the game. Alright, down here we have another shield generator being built up. Right guys is asking for E because he's trying to get a T3 air factory, T3 power generator because he has a T3 air factory. So power is what he needs. 1800, well done Arya. Levels I would never aspire to. This looks like a bit of danger. That's a lot of Corsairs, and where is this Draven? And he's got like no air to defend against that. He's got a couple of flak around the place. That might be his saving grace, and in they come. We're going to see a sniper. We're going to see a dodge. What are they going for? They're not actually even going for the commander. Oh, that's going to be a mistake. There were enough Corsairs there, I think, to take out that commander. And they're going for something else entirely. They went for the mass extractors. Oh dear. Oh dear. This could have gone for power. Anything but the one mass extractor they did get. In come the jesters, which, well, they're going to get nothing done because it's flak around. They will die fairly quickly. Here they go. They rock on in. And they fall out of the sky. They're not going to get anything done. No. If you had to time that better, if you had to waltz in with the Corsairs, send the scouts in first, seen where the commander was, sent in the Corsairs along with the jesters, then I think he would have had a much better time on that. Fortunately, he did not. That has allowed him to live. Anyway, down on the bottom island, this is all on Upgrade Central. The factories are good, just popping out some T1 units. Well, they did destroy the mixed wreckage, so... But then the amount of mass they left behind is more than enough to rebuild a T2 mix. Just here, with what died, there's what, 1400? And you've got the extras around the edges, so nah, absolutely not worth it. Doesn't slow them down enough to worry about. Okay, and is this a power stall? All the shields down at once? Yes it is, that is a power stall. Shields pop back on. What happened to the artillery? Oh, the artillery died to something. I didn't even see it, I was busy looking elsewhere. And speaking of looking elsewhere, hello Navy, we have T2 out here from Mr. the Claw. And he is doing that annoying cyber thing with stealth where you can't see stuff until it gets too close. But maybe he's still on power or something, because they can absolutely see that. He must be still on power. No, he's not, so why aren't those... Somebody has an Omni? No, that's just a radar. There they go, they're gone. Gonna have to get some air flying over those to spot them. Whilst they move around up here, we have T2 Navy out from Nebus. And that's a destroyer rolling off the band, and he still has his commander over there, so a little bit exposed I reckon. Just wants to be a little careful. Maybe wants to think about sending another transport over to pick himself up and get back home. But yeah, solid control up there from Team 1 and solid control down there for Team 2. Yellow Retreat ACU says, yeah, don't leave your dude sitting there. Talk about wide open, that is wide open. Oh, I get it. Tac missiles. Yep. Let's go right here. He's gone and tacked all this stuff. So that's gone. That went. I heard TMD somewhere. There it is, up there. So a bit of protection from things like this here. Things like that there though is subject to destruction by E1 hover. We've got some Thams, got some Zuis, maybe see those out to be annoying. And speaking of hover, we have Zuis up here dying to a single destroyer who's just going blink blink blink, and we'll see you later. Alright, things got a little bit quiet. A small band of Navy down here from Nolwinder. It's all T1 though, nothing too much to get worried about. And up here we have some T1, yeah, T1 there from Don Gringo. So he is well in the T1 phase. Does he focus on anything else? We've got T2 land, and we have a bunch of T1 air. It's all T1. Have any upgrades going on? No, that's still T1 there, that's still T1. So no tech from him. Seems like all his focus right now is down here. Maybe not. Maybe not. 10 torps for the seasonal window. I don't know what he's talking about. He's talking about something. Maybe that. Maybe that. Got some air overhead though, and we got a Submerged Destroyer. It's not a bad idea. You can submerge the destroyers. You can bring them into close range of things like these sails, which have a very long range on them. Pop them out and do your damage right there and then. But leaving them submerged is really missing out on a lot of DPS, and I mean a lot. That's okay. And hey, we talked about Zuis floating out and taking out cruisers. Here they go. I'm going to imagine his focus is probably up here. Well, these guys get obliterated. Oh, look at that. Destroyer be gone. Sorry, cruiser be gone. Oh, he's noticed that one. Oh, the miners in front of 1800. You know, I was going to say I don't think that's possible, but actually it would be. And these guys remain underwater. Don't know about that idea, but I guess there's a lot of frigates around. Being underwater is probably better at this stage, because the only thing that can hurt them is the other destroyers. But they're hurting them pretty damn good. There's another swarm of Zuis out from Anubis trying to help out. I hear... something. Oh, that's a strat. Dropping a bomb on the HQ. Well, that's no good. It's going to go down though. Flies right into a swarm of interceptors and a couple of ASFs, along with a few little corsairs. So, strap be gone. Now then, a bit quiet on the front. Don Gringo is still standing there with his comm doing absolutely nothing. He's had that particular attack missile loaded with 8 kills forever. Looking for his compatriot, and well, Kane is there as well. They're under a bunch of T2 shields, but oh hello. So that's what he's been doing. Have a chicken. Now, do we have a... Yes, we do. Have a counter chicken going on here. So these guys are on the same wavelength. They want to get into the experimental game, or just leave the front as a stalemate. And there's going to be some chicken on chicken action. We'll see how that goes in a bit. Behind them, and let's have a look at the eco here. We have T3 Air is up for Ron Burgundy. So he's got the E, he's got the portal, he's got the T3 factory, he's got the build power. He should start spitting out air, although he might be focusing on Navy. There's T2 on there, and the Winders in the water getting an upgrade. Back here we have a shielded mixers, and that was probably a Control K and rebuild there. We have T3 Air Factory getting assistance from... There they are. I couldn't spot them for a moment, but they're going to be helping that out, building out the extra air to help there. And this is a good set of Navy pressure from the Claw. He's got himself well into decent eco, all building up, and a good set of naval factories. Got to be aware of up here, because that is T3. So Anubis is sneakily gone T3 up here. He's barely sent any Navy out, just a small defensive force. And the Claw says, I'm fighting 3 navies on my side. Well, he's not wrong. Has he scouted that though? Well, not really. Hasn't sent a single scout over to see what's actually there. Nobody has. That'd be well worthwhile, because then he knows he's got T3 and he knows he's got problems. And speaking of problems, where has that experiment gone? There it is. Alright, speaking of Navy though, on the right hand side that is a lot, and they could push right up here and cause absolute mayhem. There is nothing to stop them. Absolutely nothing. T1 bombs coming out to cause some havoc. They're not going to have... Well, another door, right? There's no cruisers there. There's a couple of ASF in the area, but that's from his teammates, so they'll be fine. Don't want to fly too close over this way though, because that's where SAMs are. Alright, now we have experiment to face off. Now, he's going to be careful. He doesn't want to push that in without scouting because he has no idea it's there. He has not scouted that. Now he has. He should see that and should think, I don't want to push into all that and somebody stalling power, because he's just lost his radar signature and he has lost visibility on all of that. He's not going to have a good time. Opens up on the units, but then meets a back to sleep. Very well. Okay, Aria, you have yourself a good night, have yourself a good rest, and yeah, that needs to run because it's facing off against PD, shields, chickens, T3 units, low works. This Yathoda is going to have a bad time. Sleep well, Aria. Rest good, rest good. We go, chicken is in, firing at the wrong things, and this oh dear. Goes down. This thing is barely half dead. Not even that. Gets a rank of veterancy, which helps, and it's going to... dear oh dear. Deathball's going to kill off a few units, but commanders have evacs. Yeah, they'll be fine. What do they have to stop this? Oh, some T2RD is going to do not enough. Especially if you can't see it. Why do they have no radar? The radar shows up on... is there stealth in here or something? I'm not seeing it. I think anti-air. But yep, this is a problem. This is a big problem. Trying to build another chicken is not the answer. Not unless you can build it in, say, I don't know, 5 seconds? That thing's going to be knocking at your door very shortly. And I would, honestly, if it was me, I would have stamped up some T2PD. Back here, maybe a bit behind the shield. Air needs to get into the job. Which there is none. Oh dear. This thing's about to have a romp. That's still not going to complete. And it walks, shield goes down, power's going to go boom. As soon as it refocuses, what's it shooting at? Oi, mass. All the build capacity is gone. And now this thing just has free reign to birdify the space. Destroyer should probably turn back around and help, really. You don't want to walk away from this. This is kind of like, need to stop this here. Plenty of T1 bombs in the air which do good things because the anti-air of the Yathoda is absolutely weak as. But right now, nothing. There's a couple of lightning tanks hiding under some of that, but these guys are still moving away. Running away while your base is getting destroyed. More carnage. So rather than stop and finish off all of this, the Yathoda just carried on, keeps on walking, and lets the units take care of the base back here. And Sam again, although he probably wants to turn around and kill these, because that's a lot of power to have a go at, and there we go. There's the turn, there's the focus. Down goes 1. Down goes 2. 1 portal left on 2600 points. My word. Those bombers are just not getting work done because of the amount of regen that thing has. 5 stars. Regening hard. Getting more kills all the time. Some engineers trying to hurriedly throw down some anti-air. I must say, that's a bit of a strange choice considering that's not an air unit, and now it wanders into the Claws base. Absolute mayhem going on. We have some T2 out to try and take it down, and slowly, very slowly, and Noel Winder calls out the GG. He thinks he's not going to get back into this. He control Ks and he is bowing out. Yathoda is still wandering around and is going to find all of this very shortly, although it's taking a lot of damage now. And Ron Burger says he looked over the guys for 1500. Well, still, I mean, he says that, but that chicken's still alive. There's a lot of air around, but these are ASFs from the opposing team trying to clean up what is there, down to 11,000 hit points and walking into range of guys. And nope, that's a support commander. He'll be okay. That's an anti-nuke. Mrs. Com hiding up there, ready to jump to a transport. Not a good idea. And oh no, how? Wait, what? No, that wasn't a control K. Was that just the absolute timing of firing at him the moment he got picked up? Like the exact second that the commander got picked up, the shots came in and killed the transport. Ah, dear, oh dear. That was very bad indeed. Very bad timing. And here goes that Navy up the right hand side. As we mentioned, they could have just romped up at any time and cleaned up all of this. Looks like somebody tried earlier, didn't get too far. What's that? Well, that's another T3 power gen going up. That's another chicken wandering down, so Navy here is trying to have a go and not doing a bad job actually, is managing to work on cleaning out this. So aside from that one absolute boss of a bawling Yathota walking through and cleaning out all of this, these guys weren't in awful shape. And why aren't you pushing? Why are you falling back? You got more than enough to clean out all of this. I'm not going to understand that decision. And here there is a desperate fight happening out. Claw's going to lose this because that's a battleship. That's T3 subs. Destroyers ahoy. Tis bad times. Gonna leave those guys there to just slowly plink away at the front base, and they're getting all the extra mass from that dead Yathota. We have torpedo bombs coming in along with a couple of destroyers, so I imagine that lot will get shooed away soon enough. And in fact, as soon as those things have been spotted, out goes the T2 RT from somewhere. There it is. So just, and a chicken. That's going to wade into the shallows and take care of all of that, no problems. So I don't see a way back for Team 2 on this one, just from Troll K from Null Window, and the very unfortunate transport kill. Claw throws out the GG, his navy has been turned into scrap, and well, it's not doing an awful job. Still got a fair number of T2 units. There's, well, there's a T2 over from there. We have battleships still very, very healthy though. And now it's shooting at the build power over there. Not overseas burning, Navy still big. Well, yes and no. Navy on the right side is huge. But now we've got some torpedo bombers coming over, and still these T3 subs and battleship are the big issue. And what are these guys going after? Well, having to go factories, because why not? If you get your opponent out of the factory game, then you can't build units, and that'll be it. If they've primaried the HQ, well, that will be pretty much game over, although they're focusing on the support factory. Well, I say wrong choice, but in reality it's still a choice, and it's still less build power, it's still factories going down, and it's still units missing. And Claw control case. He can't see a stop to this, and this as well, so we have more torp bombs coming in, so he was in a very, very bad spot. This leaves us with 2 players on Team 2. We have Ron Burgundy down here. He's having a walk, and his navy is getting shredded by torpedo bombers, while his Cadre are doing basically over. We got to go, says Right guys. And, yeah, no, I get it. I get it. And I'll tell you why I get that later on, but we have a teleporter up on here and a bug. Oh, bug was being planned, and teleporter is just about done, so Cadriov is planning to go somewhere. Teleporter done, and will he go straight away? Ron Burgundy control K is out, so he is now the only person left on this team. He had a nuke, he had a launcher, he had a bug, so he wasn't doing awful, I don't think. And what are we looking at here? Yep, teleport is on the way. Now, who's he going to go for? He has scouted out all sorts of places. Find a commander, because there's maybe around there, maybe up here. Oh, it's a lot of noise. Ah, there we go. Dear Commander, you might want to start walking this way by your, anti-tele stuff. So now, let's watch that laser. Gonna walk in, teleport in, and that's gonna be all she wrote. Oh, there goes the move command. Command starts walking away. He stops. Still trying to run, trying to keep behind the shields. Might survive there, but nope, shields are gone, and that maze just does too much damage. There we have it. So, gets himself one kill. Gonna die, obviously. There's a lot of air floating around, a couple of gunships on him already. Sure, the strats. Bernie's annoyed. He says his wanted his AC to go over this way, but of course Pathfinder goes, I can't walk through buildings, so the commander stopped to turn around. I don't think he was going to survive anyway. There we go. That's the end of Shaytan. Trying to teleport out somewhere else, but he's not going to make it. And he's a goner. So there we go. Played reasonably well from Team 1. They managed to hold the middle, which was kind of key. Just no pressure coming on them from there. Managed to pop that experimental up, and the ill timing. So Nolwinder had his own experimental in time to face off against the other one, but he had no intel. So either he didn't know it was there, or he didn't know all the supporting forces were there. Either way, that was unfortunate. And additionally, it was 2v1. So he might have been able to hold the mid against one guy, but facing off against two was just not quite doable. Then I would like to say I don't think enough pressure came from his teammate here. That's who was supporting Kane at the front, old Don Gringo there. So he was supporting up at the front there, whilst back here Ron Burgundy, I think he echoed a bit too much, and by the time he got into, like, he had a sizable navy though. He should have been able to romp up here, kill off all of that, and just get them out of the Navy game, then start wailing upon all this back here. Yeah, anyhow, that is it. That is game number 1. That is a win for team number 1, having only lost the two people. Someone was control K at the end. Don Gringo, there we go. So he control K at the end himself, and Benny died there. So congrats, guys. Shall move on to the next game. Alrighty. Going to change things up just a little bit. Going to stick with the Average Joe's theme, but what we have going on now is going to be a 1 versus 1. This is a ladder match. I'm going to have a quick drink. And here we go. Right, so ladder match, as we mentioned, going down on a moor, and this is a 10 by 10 kilometer map. There's not a huge amount of reclaim. Not a huge amount, sort of like all over the place. 12k is not really any spots worth fighting over, but you do want to get them. Anyway, up the top here we have Chenbro. The Chenbro is going, Cybran has been allocated the color red. He's opening first land, and there is a Hydra back here, a small walk, so you might want to, indeed, he's going up with a couple of pigeons just to sort that out. And the opponent today is Emerinus, and M has also gone in Cybran and has been assigned Z color blue. There is about 150-160 rating difference between the two. Not too bad for a ladder match, but let's see how these guys are going to fare against each other. And it looks like M is actually going to go for the Hydro because it is reasonably close, and if you did focus on it, maybe grab a little bit of reclaim, you should be okay without stalling out on the power side. Chenbro is doing the opposite. Decided that they want to down some BGens, and that should help just keep things floating while the Hydra is built a bit slower with the engineers. Okie dokie. Now then, plenty of mixers and some good amount of reclaim just near the front of the base you can grab to assist with your starting eco. Navy's not really a factor. Got a couple of puddles around. You could hide your commander in, perhaps. I think that's low enough, although ground-fired arty may be able to hit you. The stuff looks a bit deeper, but I don't think you can walk into that. No, I don't think that's walkable. So, a couple of puddles you can hide in from T1, maybe not T1 arty, but that's how we go. Right, check it out here though. So, did finish off the Hydro. We're now planning on some power generators, and that looks like a misplaced one because that's not going to adjacency anything there. You probably want to move that. No. Let's go between Chamber and Tom Ruler. I haven't seen Tom Ruler, so I don't know who that is. But it's Chamber 101, so I don't think it's the same guy. Anyhow, so let's have a look. Any combat units out from either team. Well, there we go. Have a bit of scouty scout from M. That is a hunter. Following along behind a mole, just seeing if they can maybe catch some engineers over on the left, because there's an expansion slot over here. 4 mixers on the side. You want to try and get there, you want to grab those and try and hold them. If these guys loiter around enough, then they may be able to pick up a lone engineer that is wandering its way. Absolutely. Going to take a while for that engine to get there though, because after those mixers, it's doing a reclaim mission, and it's moving on, so they'll be there for a while. On the flip side, we have, just some defending units over there. Maybe wants to start thinking about expanding some engineers in that direction, get some units out. There's a transport, that would be a great thing to use. You can pick up these engineers that are doing nothing. Go drop, like up here for example. There's a few mixers you could hold for a bit. Some mixers here you could hold for a while actually, because units have to come back up around to get there. Or you could drop over here, grab this expansion, and Bob's your uncle. Interesting little order trails? I don't know. It's nice to have these little wee extra bits on the material. I suspect that's what they are. Or it's just ivy growing from one side to the other, slurping up the waters. Still, it's not bad. Not bad. Anyway, still waiting for that first little interaction, and here we go, drop up onto here. So, yep, down go the NGs, and we have, well, that's quite an aggressive drop planned all the way up there. I don't think you're going to manage to keep that. One NG down, and it's going to start building away on the mass extractors, and it should start hoovering up the reclaim. Bomber coming out from Chin. That is going to cause some issues, although we do have a couple of interceptors looking about for M. Able to have a go at that. We have a scout flying over here, which may pick up those. We may see the bomber redirect, or we may see it fly straight over the interceptor, which would be a bad idea. It should take off and go, hello. Here we go. It's going to chase it enough. That is a very unfortunate path decision for that bomber. Looks like it was going for this guy down here, but not going to get it. Unfortunately, another engine dropped over here and popping up the mixers, and then a factory. This engineer here, and well, it looks like M is absolutely dropping everywhere with engineers. Just wants to try and get as many mass extractors as they can. Unsurprisingly, this one got redirected, and I am, well, there is a Mantis, so I guess that makes sense. Bit of an aggressive drop there, wants to take out the mass extractor, get the engineer over, get the reclaim going. Might as well scoop up the mass while you can. There we go. No, get that, get that. It's only 30, but it still counts. You know, over here though we have, well, that's going to be a hunter trying to defend against a couple of Mantis. We know how that's going to go. Badly. Engineer is not going to get that factory done. Going to be a loss of that point. Over on the right hand side we see the same thing happening. We have a couple of Mantis rolling in and killing off the scout and the lab, and so that's that position lost over there. Right, gradual kills over there, and we have, well, yes, so the Mantis managed to kill, and or engineer managed to kill off both of those mass extractors. Finally dies up there, but that is still worth a little bit of time just to just to be annoying really. This engineer's finally on the move, starting to build something, and we have a factory up here which is popping out some units. So Chin looks like he probably has a bit more build power on the ground. Up in the base we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8th land factory planned, popping down here for Emery, and that is only 2. Third one over here, but 4th one down there. Honestly, I think Emery needs to get that build power up. Running out of time to get more units on. I hear a bomber. There it is. Going to drop on a poor hapless Mantis before getting shot down. Guys are heading straight up this way. Small fracas going on over here. Got some Mantis and a Medusa having to go to each other. There's a Sky Slammer in the mix doing Sky Slammer things, as only a Cybran does, shooting at things on the ground. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's still damage. And Medusa finally gets a shot off to kill that. Though we have a small raid around the back here as well. We have a defending Mantis, which should keep things going, although I'd say that, but actually not, as a dead mass extractor. Defending Mantis should be able to take out this one along with the assistance of a Medusa. One shot on. Oh no, bad timing on the engineer to roll back in. Jester pops out for a bit of assistance. That's all she wrote on there, so not looking too good for M just at the moment. Getting pushed back on multiple fronts, losing the mass extractors up here as well. Just a few roving Mantis have managed to make it up and clean house. In the middle we have M is pushing up with their comm. They don't want this band to get past, but this band get past they do, and that's the end of that engineer. So those Mantis, will they carry on? Yes they will. They'll just keep on walking. We have more Mantis battles over here. That is a radar that's gone down, so that's a bit of intel lost for Emrinus, which also helps, and another raid down the right hand side. So Chin is pushing all over the place. We had a push on the left going up here, had these guys come back down on the back, a push down the middle with a few roving Mantis on the right as well, and all that's in the area to stop this is a commander. Right, checking out the build power, and hey, we have some more factories going up already. Checking out the eco side of things, not quite as bad as I thought it might be. It looks like solid 45 income, half full mass bar, which is good, 640 energy, whilst we have 47, 49 now, so just only a 6 mass difference, and it's pretty darn close in the totals overall as well. Down here we have they just starting to get work done. It's just going to plink away at these Mantis, and unless we see some Interceptors turn up, that just is going to have a great time taking care of all of those. On the right hand side, that's a lone Mantis, probably had a bit of a fight, but is now facing off 2v1. We're not going to see that guy last much longer. And here we have units pushing a commander. Not a great idea. Not going to end so well. And, well, M has to be a little careful here. I think that's almost enough Mantis to kill the commander if they focus down on him. We have some supporting units up here moving up. We do, so M should be okay because these guys anticipated the move in that direction when M actually went off to the left, so that should be okay. Or unless they're pushing over here to take out these factories, which is yet another idea they can do. So lots of pressure coming in from Chen, and just keeping M on the back foot. This little section is finally going to go down maybe. We've got a single Mantis having to go at a mass extractor, and this factory is finished and popping out engineers. Well, engineers are handy and all, but they're not going to help against this. Radar goes down, mix goes down, and the factory will be next, right after that engineer. Alright, checking out here, and we have more units just running by, not stopping any reason. They are just running straight through, going along their merry way. Engineer down here is scooping things out of the water, because why not? Random foray on the bottom has run into a much superior group of units, and we still have items coming up this way. Maybe that was a patrol. Looks like it was a patrol, or just a move order. A couple of Mantis coming up to make sure there's no engines doing a rebuild. Just wanting to keep that plateau clear. I hear bombers down here being defensive. That's fine. Let's have a look for tech, and I expect to see it from, oh, there we go. Wouldn't it? Starting as a T2 pigeon, so he's got some engineers out. Indeed, just started that, and along come the rhinos. Do we have tech from, well, we do. So Emery has not been idle. They have a T2 factory as well, although they don't seem to have the T2 engineers or power. So, yep. Up the front here, and Emery needs to be careful again. That's a fairly sizable band of units, and they would be very dangerous for a commander should they get caught. Up here, a small band just cleaning out this section is going to run into, speaking of commanders, going to come on down and just clean house. Alright, band on the bottom left down here, been picked up by a few. There is a Medusa in the mix, which may or may not turn the tides, depending on if its shells land. Well, it's not going to matter anymore because there's more Mantis coming in. There's 3 very heavily damaged Mantis, though got a few kills between them. Cellular Engineering rolling out is going to grab some reclaim perhaps. Oh no, it's going for the mass extractor. Ain't going to get there. It's going to go down. Alright then, do we have T2 units rolling up to the front yet? Well, it's a lot of anti-air actually. It's a lot of Sky Slammers. So looks like Chen is very annoyed at bombers for some reason or another and has decided doesn't want it to happen. Maybe it was that Jester, which has gotten itself right past this air wing and is starting to work on a mass extractor. Will they notice? Will they get back in time? Will they die to Sky Slammers for no reason? Well, there's one interceptor which has been recalled, so the air wing gets called back over here. I'll suggest to have some fun. I hear more bombers down here, hitting up the final bits of Mantis. Oh no, so Emery is actually pushed right back into their base at the moment. 1/4 of the map belongs to Emery. Other, well, I'd say a third, not quite half, but a third belongs to Chen, and then we've just got some dead areas. This Jester has done itself some work, managed to pick up a few mass extractors here. This one got taken out, but we have a sizable push down the right hand side once again. It's a lot of units looking to clear out that side, but there's nothing there to kill. They go. Small band of units in the middle just get absolutely surrounded and annihilated. Got some more units down here, and Emerinus looks like that's a patrol order. Yep, patrolling to get some reclaim to help Eco, because gonna need it. Really gonna need it. This is a dangerous looking force. It's gonna wipe out a serious amount of... That's all dead. Alright, gun upgrade on the way for M. Not a bad idea. Needs to do something, although is kind of lacking in the power department. Oh, not too bad. And we also see a gun upgrade going on for Chinbro. I think, judging from... Well, we've got some assistance now for Emery, so that should be alright. Do not have any assistance coming along the way for Chin, so I see that first. And we mentioned, yeah, this little scrap down here. Hell of a scrap. There's a Jester around, there's no anti-air in the mix, so Jester and bombers would do quite well. Although, having said that, is that point defense going to finish? That would do wonders. It's all Mantis. All Mantis with a couple of scouts. Oh no, there's some Medusas right at the back. But the gun doesn't finish. Doesn't get done. Now is Mantis with free reign, ready to go. Got a couple of rhinos up there, which could do a worth pulling back over here to help defend. Sky Slammer pops out and dies. Jester is still around, it's got itself 6 kills, so it's having some fun. It's going to take care of things, and group coming in the back to try and help clean off some of that, but Strux is just going down. We actually have a push up the middle from Emerinus, so bit of a counter push going on. Going to clean out some of that midsection. There are some T2 hoplites in the mix with a couple of rhinos, so that is keeping things in tabs. We have Chinbro has finished a gun upgrade and has moved on to stealth, whilst Emerinus is still working on the gun, so as expected fell a little bit behind because of eco and things like this happening. Now then, they go. Emery, you need to bring these guys back. We do have a T2 point defense in the middle of the base. It's going to start tickling away at these units. Find themselves slowly dying. We have a push from the left hand side as well, so units ahoy all over. That superstar is going to be well worth its weight in gold to take care of these. Very much going to help. And Rhino coming on in on the left to help clean that up. As Emery noticed though, you want to keep that Rhino around. It's got to do the work. Ain't gonna work if it runs away. And run away it does. 2 mantis left after that. And these guys are down to the Cerberus turrets while getting... anything? Maybe kill some units. Looks like a couple of rocket bots popped out to help assist as well. Some damage generators, but I don't see any dead things, so all of this died, but none of this died from that raid. Now we have a couple of mantis just floating around, just waiting for things like this to pop over. Bosh. Don't walk too close. Another shell lobbed over. Bosh. Survives on 4 health. How do you do? Alright, checking out here though, we have, well, this Merry Band has pushed up this way. They could keep pushing now. They've killed the PD. In you go. Clean it up. But we have another push down on the right, and this time is a Rhino. A couple of Rhinos in the mix actually. But more Mantis, so just another raid to prevent the reboot happening over here, which is probably what's intended. We've got some engineers out here. There they go. They're doing a reclaim mission along the way. Going to pick up all the mess, and that's going to help things out. And yes, indeed, these guys have pushed up. Engineers are going to die, mixers are going to die. Everything's going to die. Looks like the commander is sneaking up behind them though, and that is a gun stealth con, remember? See the stealth field around it. Stealth effect. So they're not going to see it there. They're not going to see it coming. Got some units. Got a commander. They're all going to die. Okie dokie. Checking out here, more jesters are ahoy to help close things off. The T2 units. We've got a couple of rhinos, a couple of hoplites, and of course with no anti-air in the mix here, this is all just going to die. Rhino's going to get slowly tickled to death by jesters around two of them, and a Sky Slammer is going to say hi and promptly die. Checking out everything else, so we have Emery is dealing to some of these personally, would do well to overcharge that Rhino. Do they have access to overcharge? Well, yes they do. So they do have and have been using overcharge, and that's worked. We have a T1 point of defense down here, which will do wonders for holding that off, because it's nice flat trajectory fire. Going to shoot some walls while the point of defense shoots back. However, that's a problem. You want to get these guys back up this way to kill. On the left hand side we have a counter raid coming over from Emryness, and that is a Rhino going to do the damage. If they can push these up, could have cleaned there, but going in a different direction. T2 point defense up here, going to try and hold off anything that comes along. This is a sizable band of T2 however, so I don't think it would survive if they pushed up, but they're not going that way. They are in fact going to the middle where M has their comm standing. Needs to be a bit careful. There is a lot of T2 in the mix. Decent amount of T1. Has got a T1 PD there. Got a couple of engineers. Got a small band of units down here to help out as well. No, they're coming. Well, kind of. Here's the radar. There it is. Is stealth? Yes, there is. Stealthing there somewhere, being annoying. And there we go. M starting out. Gets an overcharge. Pops off a unit. There goes another overcharge. So not doing awful. Do have a single PD down here, but now we've got to be careful because those units have spotted the comm and they are trying to surround it. Support units down here should be enough to help out if these guys keep focusing on the wrong thing. It looks like they're trying to take out, well, everything but the commander, which means these units are going to be thinned out. There was that stealth unit. I knew it was around somewhere. And yeah, that's going to be a reasonable hold for Emery, and it's going to be a bit of a mess donation too. Overcharge is going out, not going on so badly. This T1 PD is having a lot of fun. Now it goes, no more fun. That's rude. Alright, down into the yellow goes Emery, but more units coming up, including a Viper. So those guys are going to fall back in the face of Commander Mayhem. I hear more shooting somewhere else. It's there. No, it's just there. Oh, there we go. Interceptors picked up by Mantis. Proud of that kill boy. And up on the top here we have a small band facing off against a couple of rhinos. Well, if we can keep the rocket bot at arm's length, it's going to do wonders because it has longer range. But the trick is keeping it at range rather than it getting caught up. More units popped up into the middle here. I don't think there's anything left to kill, but they are there. Right, units in the middle from Emery, so starting to see the pushback actually. I feel like Chinbro's been a little bit too quiet. Because that's T3. So there's looking like a T3 shift from Jinbro, trying to get into that. There's 65% done on that face. And we have a T3 shift over here. Well, we do actually. We are 25% of the way to T3 for Emeryness. So only a little bit behind in the tech game. Only a little bit behind in the eco game, but it's all those little bits. Just a little bit less map control, a little bit less eco, a little bit less tech, a little bit less air. Actually, I haven't said that, it's a lot less air. It's got far more interceptors. But it all adds up. So a bit behind in eco overall, a bit behind in tech, a bit behind in control, and it just adds up. All those little things add up to being behind by quite a bit. Up here, this raid unfortunately ran into a point defense. Point defense wins. Down here, a few managed to block off this route from small raids, but any kind of medium-sized raid will get through. These TT units then face off against mostly T1 actually, and single Rhino in there, so they should be absolutely fine. They're going to clean house. Might lose a couple of rocket bots though, because those things are kind of papery. A couple of Rhinos in the mix will help clean things out, but I think this guy's going to go down. Maybe, maybe not. These guys turn tail to run, but they do not make it. Bomber comes in for nope, interceptor, sorry, not bomb. Interceptor comes in. You guys get out all good. On the right hand side, Emery has finally repicked up this area, has built a factory, getting the mixers done. Down here, engineers coming over to reclaim, I'd presume. Yep, there's a patrol order to pick up all of that, because that there is a couple of thousand mass just waiting to go into coffers, waiting to go into upgrades, and we are 95% done on the T3 there. Do we have... well, this one's already done and is popping out loyalists ahoy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loyalists, and these will do very, very well against lower tier units. Alright, it's this group in the middle is in for a bit of a problem. Once those loyalists arrive, and arrive they shall with the support of the commander. So Chimbro's been a little quiet with his comm, just chilling over here, ready to hide in the water should something come over. But now we have comm moving in with loyalists. That's a bit of a dangerous situation. Vipers are having to go shooting at whatever they can reach. In this case, it's going to be a Mantis down here, dies. And the loyalists rock on in and absolutely carve with the assistance of the commander as well. Don't think the commander was necessary. These guys are going to get the job done all on their own, T2 or not. They will absolutely stomp their way along. Over here we have a stealth field, and we do have Emeryness in the area. Now, it doesn't have to be with overcharge. A few loyalists are okay, as long as you've got some supporting units, which M kind of doesn't. Got a few T1 floating around down here, but nothing that's really going to stop that side. Got a wave of units up here pushing along. Looks like they're going to sneak up behind, or maybe not actually. They turn around and decide to take on a Rhino. Maybe not the best idea. The Medusas help, of course, but Medusas won't help against loyalists. Let's check out the T3 situation down here for Emery. Well, not producing units, you're going to wanna, and you're probably going to want to think about bricks, because bricks are a great answer to loyalists. Take a bit longer to build, but they're damn well with it. A sizable band of T2 up here though, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered. And hello, there's been a T3 forward factory built here that is popping out the bricks. So there we go, some T3 engineers now coming out of this factory, and we just revert back to that whole eco thing. The gap has closed. So M, when they're not stalling on power, are actually not doing bad as far as eco goes. They were a little bit further behind on total eco, and what's this? This 100 eco stable for Chinbro, whilst we have 91 for Emery. So it's actually not that bad at the moment. Emery has managed to catch up. They've used a lot of the fighting has gone on in Emery's territory, so that's been a lot of the reclaim been there for Emery to use. And now they're both at T3. Roving loyalist band for Chimbo rocking around, but we have that brick. I hear it. There it is. and it is just going to have its wicked way with rhinos. And they run because they've got to. I mean, yes, it's a brick, but you don't want to run into that many loyalists. You don't want to run into that bigger band of anything, really. Maybe T1 if it kept moving, but that's not a great idea. Obviously, it doesn't have radar because it should be firing a lot sooner than that. You see, it has. Well, it can see that far. Take out this loyalist if it stays sitting there, not doing anything. I think the focus is elsewhere. We have another band of loyalists in the middle from Chimbro, so that's going to do that. And this brick's just happily plinking away at stuff, because why not? A brick in the middle is going to die and meets up with a commander, and a bunch of loyalists, and that is all she wrote on that front. Emrinus over here without too many units to their name. And that's a lot of loyalists, and a lot of air, just to keep the bombers away. And it's a huge swath of engineers. Only a few are assisting. These guys are doing nothing. They're getting built out of that factory by the look of it. Brick is trying to kite away from the loyalists. Not the worst idea, because it does have more range if it can keep out and keep dishing damage or not taking it on its own. We have a Jester on the left, has been getting work done over here, along with a bomber, picking off some. Wow. Picking off a mass extractor. We have a push up on the left, and down here though, and M needs to be careful. That is a sizable number of loyalists. There's one brick which goes down, and M's health starts shredding off. This might be it here. No supporting units, health gone, down to red, under 1k. Kaboom. Just caught out of position without enough units to support, and I thought there was actually a bit of a pushback coming from memory. Had caught up in eco, had caught up in tech and everything. Maybe a bit shy on units, but still had control up there of that denial of that platform. Had this group moving up here, which were quite likely to move that, except for the loyalist and the renegade in the region. Was putting some pressure up on here, taking out a mass extractor. Had another band of units. That was close. Morning food man, how are we doing? Yeah, I think without that push just right there of those loyalists, I think M might have been actually coming back on that one. Still, end result is Emery didn't. Yeah, it's evening for me, absolutely. But yeah, end result is Emery did not come back on this, didn't make it, and has lost the match. Sorry, she blows. So that leads us on to our next game. This is cast 3 of 4, by the way. So I have this, and then I have one more to go. One more to go after this one. Now, shall I drink break while it loads in? Alright, so we have a 20 by 20 kilometer map, and it is a 6v6 battle going down on Tesla Island. Alrighty, so according to our scoreboard up here, we have ourselves Team 1 at the top, Team 2 at the bottom. Let's introduce the players. On the front, question mark. I don't know how many they're going to send to the front. They don't know either. Byak is asking my naval. Anyway, let's have a look. So, position 1, we have Battlecat. And that's a great name, and they have got themselves on Seraphim, and I'm going to start saying the ratings because it kind of matters in this game. But Battlecat is grey, they are Seraphim, they are rated at 800. Beside them on front we have TMK 2000, and he is yellow UEF, and popped himself at 800 rating over there. Beside him we have Sled Ziona, and they are also UEF, and they are in Vomit, yellow, vomit, brown, or whatever you want to call it, and they're 1100 up there. In the back row behind them we have Byak. Shut up, Bam, you're not a bot. Anyway, is Byak. They are bright pink, they are Cybran in 300 rating. Over here we have Coditit? Cody Yaratit, and they are in slot green Aeon, and Cody is 1100. Up here we have a Salty Pup. Salty Pup is a 300 rated orange Aeon player. Alrighty, let's have a look at the other side and the opposites. We have migraine. That's not the headache migraine. He's saying migraine, give me my grain. They are Cyan, Cybran, and they are a 700 radio player. Over here beside them we have Knucklepucker Man. He's good. Knock. And they are purple UEF at 100 rating. Beside him up front we have Hot Fog, white, Aeon, 900 rated. Let's have a look at the back row. It is Falcon Z even. You're going to be Falcon. That's a really strange name. Otherwise, you are the highest rated player in the game at 1500. Cybran in pale blue. Beside them is the lowest rated player in the game. That is minus 200. Hi there, Moom. I am having fun with the cast. Thank you very much. I will continue to have fun with the cast. I appreciate the well wishes. And this is Scarvinator. Anyway, he's minus 200. He is Cybran. Bright red. Beside him, to finish up the back row, it is JCV repeated 4 times. So he's just JCV. He's blue. Lovely. Medium blue. And he is Seraphim at 1200. Right, as we see there, the balance is actually at 84%, so not a hugely balanced game. It is 733 to 700, so the average of rankings aren't that different. There's probably some game time that has made the balance a wee bit more wonky. Anyway, let's see how these guys are going to get on, because what's there to reclaim? Well, there's lots there to reclaim. In the middle, right here, 3000 reclaim to be had, and you are going to want to fight over that because you don't want to leave it in the hands of your enemies. We have a couple of side islands, just a couple of mixes and trees, a couple of back islands, again just some more trees, pretty much. A couple of big rocks dotted around the place to help boost your eco. Got these ones at the front as well, another couple of thousand there, which have been scooped up ahoy. And we have a drop coming out to the middle, so TMK is going for the mid with his units. Now, something to note, all this is actually neutral because it is in this, whatever we want to call that color, light brown. Yeah, so you could actually rock on in with these guys straight in and just start reclaiming. If they were red, they'd be hostile civilians, but these are neutral civilians and they're going to do nothing. Hey, you're welcome to lurk. Like, if I'm just background noise to you, if that works for you, that is absolutely fine. You know, this is just a stream, but I still appreciate it. Even lurking, spending your time lurking, just for something background, having it there just to be, I appreciate that anyway. You're here, I'm here for you guys, basically. So, I mean, I enjoy streaming, I enjoy casting, and I'm going to keep on doing it. But, hey, it is what it is. And this is bright, shiny lights. Attached to anything? Buildings, perhaps? No, these ones ain't hostile. If you watch, see, because of the color, red's hostile. That's not. Anyway, we have a bit of raid going on over on the left. So migraine is sending over some labs trying to give somebody a migraine. Have a transport just sitting out here doing nothing because, okay, we have a drop on the left hand side. So JCV is going for the side island. He's going to get those engineers off. There is an interceptor around, but it's not going to be able to shoot that down in time by any stretch of the imagination. Although I doubt the transport's going to be able to make the return journey. Okay, so you see here, this engineer has just wandered right on in. It's definitely within range. Nothing doing. Very much alive. Righty. You could convert those buildings if you wanted to. You could send an engineer in, you could do a capture order, and you'd have some pre-built walls there, ready to help defend it. And, you know, capturing does take time and energy, but, yeah. Battle Moose didn't reclaim neutral buildings because of stray PDs, because you thought they were hostile. Didn't know, lost early. Yep. Wait, why did that get caught in the... Okay, apparently the auto mod didn't like the term PDs. Go figure. Anyway, that little raid has caught up and it was so close. That was the Interceptor picking up a transport full of engineers. That was very close to making it onto the ground. One hero Interceptor gets a kill and destroys I don't know how many engineers are there. Tank turns up to start having a plink away at these labs. Could keep moving in actually. It's out of range. Move a little bit closer, take out the other two. No worries. Alright, but yeah, this engineer is definitely within range of that point defense, and it's not doing anything. Something just died in the background there. What was that? Is that a bomber? Oh, was it something? Sorry, I saw something down in the background. I think it was a bomber. I don't think it was another transport. But yeah, and you see these units aren't firing back at it. It's not firing at them. 100% neutral. Free reclaim. Alright. I wonder if these guys thought the same thing, because he very much skirted around to the left where those labs didn't push through the middle. But yeah, it's always fun to win games. It's nicer to win games than lose them. Anyhow, well, Cadre has been ecoing up pretty hard, isn't he? Air bombers, oh, it's after the lab. Nothing major. Got some interceptors out here, and they are sled zonias. They are having a look. Yep. All that reclaim. Ready to be grabbed. Check down here, we have, looks like some more eco going on that front. How are we looking on the air factor? Well, oh, that is a T3 upgrade already, and that is the -200 rated player. That's are we sure he's not smurfing it? -200, and he's grabbing T3 air. Started that up before Edmund. His counter, he's grabbing T3 air as well. But this guy's 1100. Got a lot less power though. Got the 1 T2 pigeon. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's on T1 mass, isn't it? Got 1, 2, 3, 4 T2 mixers, 5, another one upgrading slowly. He's got himself 3 T2 power for the upgrade, so it's not going that bad. Could be a bomber rush. Could be a bomber rush. Check over here and you can see, yeah, Cadre has got all T2 mixers, and it's got the mass storage between to give that little wee extra boost. Actually, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Aren't these +6 normally? Yeah, look at that. T2 mass extractor +6. Over here, T2 mass extractor +6. So the 1 mass storage doesn't actually seem to be doing anything. Let's check it out. We'll have a look. Of course, to do a bomber rush, you need to actually have mass, because bombers cost a lot of mass. And he doesn't. He's turned around to try and... yeah, there we go. So a second mass storage actually makes a difference. They actually stopped the HQ upgrade. Stopped assisting that. Curious. Decided he needs to get a little bit more mass. There we go, this whole area has been reclaimed. The buildings are being schlepped away. Is that worth a couple of hundred? So that's not so bad. Guessing you can't reclaim those little beacons. You're going to be stuck with those shiny little bits, always. I could maybe reclaim them. It's nicer to leave them though. Leave the shiny things there, because why not? You say he's ringing mixers instead of T2ing? Well, he's partially ringed and he's getting the T2 up there. I mean, I have heard, oh there we go, we did have the T3 finish, and that's, oh that's not a bomber. That's actually an ASF. So no, he just wanted to get T3 quick and get an ASF out. On the other side of things, we have T3, that's a bomber. I see, that's a mistake. It's a T3 mass extractor before storage. Pretty sure that's a mistake. Looks like Cadre is like all the factions at the moment except Seraphim. He's got a UEF factory, he's got a Cyber factory and an Aeon factory, and here goes the bomber. So that's a 10-minute strap bomber, just over. However, there are ASF around, so that might not have been the worst decision. However, he's going to be stalling hard on power, I'm sure of it. Yeah, there we go. Needs to get more power up. Alright, let's check it out. That bomber is flying overhead. We've had the mid. So finally getting a bit of action here. Two Rex have turned up. We've got that's T2 though. That's going to be a problem for old Migraine to try and defend it. Push against. He's only got T1 at the moment. We have got some T2 units back here, so that could work. Strap bombers away, and what's it going for? Well, apparently nothing. Hasn't dropped a bomb yet, and is just slowly dying. It's going to need to drop a bomb fast. Oh, that's not a bad shout actually. That's, well, I don't know. Yeah, no, that's worth it. A couple of T2 mechs, although rebuilding on the Rex helps a lot. And now he's building Jesters. Okay, maybe he is minus 200 because I have no idea what the hell he's thinking. Why are you building Jesters when you're T3? The timing on the shield was absolutely brilliant. The bomb comes down, the bomb lands, the shield blinks on. I mean, the rebuild of those guys, so a T2 mass extractor costs you 900, right? But with the Rex still there, actually he would have lost the storage as well. Another 200. Okay, so 2 T2 mixers, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, so 1400, and another 1800. So 3200 mass minus the. I think it worked out about even. It actually worked out about even. So it was about 1600 mass because you could rebuild on the Rex because they were there, and the bomber corpse was worth about 1600. So just lost a bit of time. Of course, there were some engineer deaths as well, and just a couple of other things. So it just paid for itself. By destroying 2 ringed T2 mixes, it paid for itself. Just. It is efficient to control K T2 mix and rebuild if T3 if it's under 90 seconds. I believe somebody did the math, and I believe I remember seeing around 90 seconds. Obviously, the quicker you do it, the more efficient it is. Yeah, so if you can afford to do that, do it every time. Alright, here come the Jesters. This is what they were for. They're here to put pressure on the middle, and put pressure they do. They're starting to take out, but there's flak in the area, and there's anti-air on the ground. The E-storage goes pop, and everything all just suddenly dies. There we go. Flak over here, some T1 AA over there. Well, the Jesters did add a little bit. Took out some mixers, took out some structures, but I don't think they were worth it. Not the amount they cost. And here we have T2 already popping up, so TMK is all alone. Oh, he's not alone. Look at a group of units over here helping out from Battlecat. Battlecat wins the name of the day, by the way. Battlecat is good. Now we have some renegades coming in, so I believe I saw flak though. That's not going to help, and the shield is going to help things even less. Look at the flak go up. Look at the renegades just get absolutely shredded. Gunships versus flak. No. Just absolutely shredded. That is a mass donation. Tune of 2k or so. You've got T3. Use it. God. Okay. Yep. He can own this negative 200 rating right there. The flip side, his opponent has T3 here and is just focusing on eco. He's got he's got a few ASF out just for some bit of control in case some strats do turn up. So I think do have a squad of Jesters over here from Hot Fog. I don't know what they're going to do, but here goes Navy. The Jesters supporting the Navy, which isn't a bad shout. These are of course Aeon Navy, and because they're Aeon, they are very role specialized and they have no anti-air. They would die very easily. Although having said that, we have got T2. That is a factory on the way with a destroyer, I think. That's how it is. Anyway, in the middle we have, what are these guys pointing out? They are pointing out down here. Wanting to kill off all this, I would imagine. Go, go, Artie, go. Splat. Well, that bit of ground Thanks you, sir, for the artillery shell. A bit of a push on the left is a bad idea, because you're pushing into a whole lot of units, and point events, nope, just a whole lot of units. Got some T2 Rhinos in there, got that, got a couple of Vipers out as well. They're going to start pushing the missiles in this direction, I'd imagine. Got the old stealth field making annoyances as well. Hey look, it's another mass donation. Like, I don't know what he's trying to do. There's shield up. There's flak. 2 flak. 3 flak now, so if you're going to do an air attack, you really want to not do that. Checking out on the left though, this island is very much firmly in the hands of JCV. It's given him some bit of extra eco. He has got a bunch of naval factories here rocking out with the units, all T1 at the moment, although I see T2. Is that from further back? Yes it is. He's got himself a T2 Cybran up there and some T1 Seraphim. So there's been a bit of tech sharing going on. Seems like you guys are quite happy to do so, which isn't a bad idea. You can use your Salems and your stealth boats out of here, and cruisers should come from Seraphim, not from Cybran. They're better anti-air. They have the tech missiles to make it life an annoyance. We have Zuis on the field as well, so that is a really, really annoying Navy mix. Yes, quite annoying. Anyway, and down on the other side we have pretty static Navy there against fairly static Navy here. Both guys just sort of posturing. Soldier Pup is asking somebody else to build an SMD. Well, why don't you build it? Because you are behind on eco. You're asking him because he has lots of eco. Holy heck, he has been doing nothing but eco. He's got a T2 land factory going T3 there. He's got that T3 air factory is going on. He's got T3 power and a third one going up. And shields, and yeah, he says, okay, I'll build an SMD, that's fine. Absolutely fine. His compatriot beside him has T3 air as well. He's got power, he's got a... just been focusing on the eco side of the game as well. Alrighty, so the only people who've really been doing much is up front here. We have TMK, and he has got Titans in the mix. They're going to hold out quite well against all this T1, presuming the Triads themselves don't. And actually it looks like they pushed up here and just a small run by and destroyed half of what was here. Because they're damaged, they got some kills, and off they go again. Look at them just cleaning up. In come the bombers. Now they might be useful if they can stay out of range of the flak. If they can drop their bombs, it'd be great. A little bit of a spread bomb there, not going to get much more done though. Flak, flak, flak. Dirty, dirty flak. Alright, let's check out down here. Here's the eco guy. What? Is that like a build as you go template? And just assist in order or something? That seems weird. Why just have an actual build template? And looks like Falcon's actually worried about tele snipes already, so he's popping up some T1 PD. I suppose it's better to have them and not need them than not need them and... No. Better to have them and not need them than need them not have them. Get that saying right. On the left hand side there we have, well, that's still T2 Naval Factory, plenty of assistance going on there, got some hives going up to help even further, and that Navy is now pushing up, so we have a bit of a Navy battle up here. We got Salem's getting focused down. Sitting still while getting hit by Exodus is never a great idea. They have a huge amount of damage, so your stationary ships will die very quickly against Exodus. You beat them by micro. Keep moving and you'll be fine. Looks like we had some torpedo launchers in the mix as well. Those are going to go down to good old ZBFO because they are static and they cannot get out of the way, unlike the rest of everything which can move. So yeah, goodbye to structures. And we have more coming in bit by bit. Not the greatest way to deal with Navy. Should group up, fall back and reconvene over there to get your strength all in one. On the right hand side, speaking of Navy, we have long range shots. Very good at bombardment. Over 1,000 damage. That. Let's check what's going on here. Well, we have... looks like it was artillery versus artillery, and these guys have actually broken through and helped cripple out these artillery here of TMK. So that's been an one of an artillery has probably been distracted by RTing over this way to kill out that, and we have a few harbingers loitering. Well, if they're pushed up here, they could do some real damage, except I do see there are some T2. Oh, Seraphim, is it flat? It's flat enough, they should be right. Some T2PD plus a whole host of units will be able to see those guys off quite easily. Shields are collapsing. The more RT is being built, and down here, one shield, second shield going up, and already has 4 artillery, so it should be well in front on that phase. Let's see what we've got to do here. 3 RDs have been rebuilt. That one is on 98 health, so close to dying, but also so close to veterancy. It's a self one more kill. He should be okay. Okay, they fire. Okay, this is going to help oust all of that. Most likely send in the Zuis, although there's some triads up the front and they're going to clean shop, so maybe not. We have T2 behind that as well to help push back. Alright, shields are gone here again. They drop down and more shells are coming in. We're going to see more death and destruction. Oh, they blink on just in the nick of time. Wow. Those shells were about to land and they blinked on just at the right time. I was so expecting to see a whole lot of carnage just then. And speaking of shields failing, these two have gone. Oh dear, the timing of those shields, I still can't get over that. I think we're going to see a bit of wreckage going on here. 1, 2, artillery down, shields 3 RD down, and the shields have yet to blink back on 4. It's not a good time. Shield comes on, but it might be a little late. We've already lost 4 artillery, and these are growing in number. With more up the back there, it looks like those harbingers did decide to try and push, but they ran into a bit of trouble. In the form of, well, everything. Shield blinks off again. This one does not have a lot of health left on it, so I think I'm going to find Nock is focusing somewhere else for his attention. That's the last arty build there. That's a parashield keeping it alive for the moment. But we see more shells landing, more stuff dying. More triads going to go up, but now shields are down. This one's going to blink on and keep something alive for a little bit, but they've lost that one. It's going to be a problem, so I think we're going to see the end of that. Over here we have T3 RD rolling out, hidden under some stealth, so they're going to get free reign to bomb over here, but they're bombing the wrong thing. Alright, those harbingers are pushing up, and TMK's moved the units off to the left because he wants to take care of all of that. These guys, well, I wonder if they could have kept pushing. In fact, they are going to keep pushing, and I think they might have a chance of getting through here actually, because there's only a few T2PD, although I see Ravager fire all the way from over here. And these guys are actually going to make mincemeat out of that. Look at the point of defense go down. They now start focusing on the T3 NGs as well. But now they're under T3 shields. Now there's T1 point defense, which is going to help thin out the numbers, but not by a huge amount. They are harbingers after all, and they will help kill things pretty darn quickly. Still, I wonder what their focus is, and here come the units over from TK. He's helping to resolve this, kills off a radar, and they go on their merry way just to roll on past. Okie dokie, let's have a look at navies. Well, on the right hand side it has gone poorly for Mr. Hotfog. He has been absolutely stormed over. He's trying to build what's the SAM, so he's worried about air coming in. We're going to be worried about Navy on his doorstep. These factories are going down, and that's it for Navy on this side of the map. On the other side of the map, we see that JCV has been successful and it has pushed Sledziona back into his base. It hasn't quite ousted him completely from the water, so he's still in there. Hello, there is a nuke, and where's that going? So, yeah, Falcon has not been idle. Nikohoy, what direction is it going? Well, it's going straight up the guts. The anti-nuke is going for this middle part. We actually have anti-nuke. It's not loaded yet though. Oh, was it going to load in time? In comes the nuke. It's not curling down yet. In fact, it's flying past. and what's it going to go for? Well, it's going to go for nothing because that loads just in the nick of time to catch it. I don't see... Oh, that was a clutch SMD. There's nothing up here. There's nothing up here to stop that nuke. If it had gotten past, it would have been done. And TMK is yelling for help in mid. Apparently he cannot hold mid alone. He's done a bang up job so far. As long as he can get radar and see these things, he can start sending some arty back their way. Well, he knows they're there, so he must have Omni. So we can see those. There we go, the T2RD is firing back at it, so that's going to help his shields live a bit longer. He's got Ravagers in the mix. I think he can hold for a while. I think he'll be alright for now. Honestly, that there was the game saver. I think that was the game saver. That nuke, it was going to go up here. It was going to absolutely destroy somebody's eco. Either there, or there. Something was going to die. And probably a commander as well at the sight of it. It was a very, very critically built SMD. And now with the amount of T2RT he has, it's hard to build anything within range because this happens. This gets obliterated by T2RT. Scouts coming over, and well, that Navy is very much parked in the bay and is doing some very, very bad things to Hot Fog's eco. We do have some torpedo bombers in the region, but we have cruisers behind, and they're just going to pick those out of the air quite happily. As it happens, let's all go. If these cruisers are even within range of the air HQ, as soon as those torpedo bombers come out, they are dying. Look at that. Right, got some more coming in from Scarventer trying to help clean things up though, and he's bombing the wrong things. The frigate is doing nothing but being a damage sponge right now. Coming through as they do, and now there's air from Cody, so he's decided to help defend against the Interceptors, and we finally have something resembling an airfight. A small amount of ACFs from Scar. They are tangling with the stationary ACFs of Cody, but they're doing it over cruisers. Never a great idea, and I think we're going to see Scar lose out on this one. Yep. ACFs are gone. We have a bunch of T2 here from Falcon though, so he doesn't like Navy in the bay, and that's going to be a very good deterrent to everything that's over there. In the meantime, poor old Hot Fog is having his base decimated. He's lost 5 T3 mass extractors. He has an HQ that is going to... it's probably going to die as well. Another few shots and it will be gone. 1, 2, 1 more, and we shall see the end of that HQ, and he's going to have some issues. There it goes, and now we're starting on the mass extractor, so he's having a bad time. Let's have a look at the Navy on the other side, and well, that's not a bad push from JCV. He was facing up against T3 too. That is a battleship. So good old Sleziona had managed to transition to T3, but as long as he can keep the units moving, he'll be okay. Was a whaler up there, but it gets absolutely hammered by the amount of anti-air in the area. But look at these cruisers. Look at the swarm just coming on, and we have another destroyer out, so might be able to hold, although there is a formidable amount of frigates they can get back here, do some really bad things to this build power. Is really what they should do. Looks like the Omen is target focusing quite well though, and we're down to mostly T1 units left now. Cruisers are dying a horrible death. And we add some PD on the beach, and it is looking like that'll be a hold. Do we have T3? Well, we've got Zoes. So T2, that's still T2, and that's still T2. So no T3 in the Navy yet for JCV. He's content to do the T2 plus Zoe spam. In the middle, well, it looks like TMK has actually managed to hold all right. He's got a bunch of Ravagers, got some RTs, he's even got some Percivals now floating around the front. So that's going to be a good little keep for him. The Navy has left the bay now. That has been cleaned. We have another nuke, and that is out from Cody, And he's actually working on a bug as well at the same time. So he's got a nuke, he's got a bug, and he's got a YOLO. Oh wow, he's absolutely going for it. So where is this nuke headed? They have nuke defense, and Hot Fog is built an experimental. It's GC. Is that what's getting nuked? Oh, looks like it's flying right on over. You guys have SMD. Well, not seeing... Oh, there's one. Ain't loaded though. Ain't anywhere near loaded. That's going to land in the bad place. That one's not loaded either. It's just been finished, in fact. So that's a goodbye to migraine. Your base is toast, although the SMD of everything that gets destroyed, the SMD survives. That's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Falcon, he expands his displeasure for the situation. He has his own SMD there, which is 100% loaded. Wow. Alright then. On the top, the Navy attack has withered. The face of the Omen has really just pushed things back. It's going to get itself a rank and vet for a few more kills. In fact, it's going to get a rank and vet very shortly. Nope. Things are getting away without dying. Look at those shots, just absolutely missing at long range. Ooh, except for that. Took a couple of pops in the back. Absolutely going to hurt. Alright, GC is coming up through the water. Is it actually hidden under there? I think it is. I mean, he knows it's there, I saw the ping, but I don't think it can be shot at just yet. We have some more T3 RD at the back here being annoying, but that's going to die to a wave of T2 artillery fire. Well, one is. And up comes the GC. I'm going to stand here and just start shooting units. Going to take some Ravager fire to the face. This probably isn't a bad idea actually. Just stay a little bit further away. Work on cleaning out some of the units, then drop back into the water afterwards. So, yep, there we go. Killed off a few units and we'll just wander back in, regen a bit, and be happy. Alright, but we have to keep an eye on this. That is, what, about not quite a quarter done. Probably 1/6. Fifth. And the bug has been reclaimed for the mass because, yeah, you want to put your mass into that. Okay, let's see, are they aware? Well, no, they haven't scouted for a while. Really haven't scouted for a while, so they've got no idea that it's there. Unlucky. And we have Navy in the bay again. Although this time there's T2 Arty ready to have a go back at them, but they can sit a little bit further away and not be troubled at all. Maybe? Let's range on those. Oh yeah. So that one is just to the edge of range. Yeah, they could kill off the edge eco, they could kill off a good amount of it, and let's say another nuke out. This time it is from... well, that's from Falcon, and he's lobbed a nuke out. He's going to go somewhere up the mid. That's GC... well, it's died actually. It has died and given a mass donation. There's still plenty of T2RD and Ravagers back here to help defend it. There's nothing else pushing. If this lot had pushed with that, I think we could have seen a different story. Now, where's that nuke going? Here it is. It is going all the way over here. Guessing it's skirting a TMD. Does that seem probably going for the HQs? Uh-oh. That's salty in the water. Is he going to actually get clipped by this? He might. It's not far away at all. Boom. So that was a very, very plain trajectory. I know there was, there we go, so SMD there. Reaches to there, so the nuke just flew past there. Just enough to be out of range. I think Battlecat has his own as well. Yep, there it is. So that was a very well aimed nuke from Falcon, just to sneak past the edge of that SMD range, just to land there, and he gets the kill. Salty has no idea how he died, and JCV is quite... I'm guessing he's talking to himself there, because if he was paying attention, they would have seen the nuke go over. And what's that? A stray tech missile. Careful. But yes, that is now extra eco for the YOLO. And now it's getting assists on that, so a team build on the YOLO hasn't been scouted as of yet. Oh, the answer is no. Yes. It has been scouted, has been seen, but it has not been marked or pinged. That's going to be a problem. Okay, reclaim on the nuke launcher because Mavor. Oh. So Falcon's going for all. Decided the nuke is done. There's too many anti-nukes over there, and he decided to switch up to a Mavor. And well, if his team helped him, that would be a fantastic thing because he could use all the mass right now to get that completed. Right, so the Mavor is, what is that? We look at an NG who's actually building it. What is building that? Oh, drones. No, that's Siren drones. Is it these? It's those. So Mavor is 37% done, 38% just ticked over now. If we have a look at the YOLO, well, that's way closer to being finished. 70% done on the YOLO, 40% on the Mavor. Why don't you bomb me or something? So Salty Pup still has actually no idea how he died. His attention must have been way elsewhere. Completely unaware of what was going on. And I don't think anybody actually knows. I think everybody heard the nuke and everybody ignored it because they all had defense. You know, nuke defense there, nuke defense there, but it skirted those and killed them. So there you go, Salty. You died by nuke. How's it going? Up here though we have another push from JCV. He is running into T3 units once again with T2 and T1. Not really going to end that well, especially as we have some whalers in the region as well. They can help clear things out. We have T2 PD on the coast, which is just absolutely smashing down new units as well. It's helping to contain the Zoes, frigates, everything. So it's an odd choice. Air comes over from Falcon, so who's actually helping clean out these whalers. Here comes the counter air from Byak, who's been really quiet this game. I haven't heard much of him. He must be donating. Well, I thought he'd be donating to the YOLO, but I haven't seen anything down here. Maybe I'm just missing a trick and it never happens, or it happened and I missed it. But he's just been quietly ecoing over here. He's got a primitive defense right at the back, is so useful. Who knows? Do we have a T3 shift? Well, we do. That's T3 factory right there. You're going to start wanting to pop battleships out of that, and these are still popping out the T1, and these are still popping out the Zoes, and oh my god, how many is that? 160 Zoes just sitting on the island waiting to be used. Right, let's check that Mavor. It is, well, it's not doing that badly. It is up to 64, 60, say 65%. Well, the YOLO is, well, it's done. So that's going to charge on up, and that's going to launch on up very, very shortly. This spells bad times for Team 2 there, and still in the middle. TMK never quite managed to get ousted, so he did a stellar job of holding this midsection. That was his entire role, and I still say MVP of the entire game is this SMD right here. That very, very first nuke. Had this not completed an anti-nuke missile in time, with the one flying over, that would have been so much eco destroyed, and either the mid would have gone or the navy would have gone, and it would have been so much different what we're seeing right now. But that YOLO is a big problem in the shape of a big problem. Going to see that open up shortly and lob its furious missile. It requires 2 SMDs to stop. Go. Way it launches. Now then, do we have enough SMD for it? Well, we have 0 anti-nukes in there. Have 2 anti-nukes in there. And we have no anti-nukes over here because they've had navy issues and everything's sort of died. Do we have anti-nukes there? We have 1 missile loaded there, and not even one SMD of... You know, I'm kind of surprised. These guys have been nuked already. And they still don't have antis. Like, wouldn't you make that your priority? We've been nuked once. Having said that, the Mavor is just about done. That's 7,500 coming up out of 8,000. And now the team's helping. They... Oh no, that's Cody. But honestly, they needed to help much earlier. And there's no point assisting that because you have not enough anti-nukes to stop that. Get your comm... That's not your comm. That's your comm. Comm's running. As you do. And this entire section is about to be obviously dead. Hot Fog may be too close to the nuke as well. It's not landing too far away from him. Is the Mavor going to complete? I think it might. The build power has dropped right off, but it's not too far off completing. In comes the next YOLO, and it's going to have itself a fun time with killing everything. I don't think Hot Fog's going to survive at all. 2, 1. Everything dies. The Mavor does complete, and does it live? Wow. 500 health in the Mavor. And as Guy likes to call it, the giant penis of doom starts firing. The YOLO fires again, was going for this time, I'd imagine over this way perhaps. I don't think he'd nuke the same place twice. Do they even know the Mavor's there? Well, yeah, they do. Not launching for it again. Guess they thought that's one. Tell you what, I've got to be honest, if Falcon had have had help with more mass into that Mavor, it could have got up a lot earlier. And it could have done a bit more damage, and that is a lot of shield spam coming up, although we have some destruction at the back there. Bit of power going, there's enough left to power all these, and a lot of Razcoms. And yep, the shield spam has started, so he's wanted to keep these shields up and alive. In fact, there goes build order. Yeah, see how quickly he's building those. Managing to pop up a new shield every time the Mavor shells come in, so they're going to stay alive quite happily. More nukes. There we go. So there was an anti-nuke. That one did some jobs. Stopped the other. You can now have a regular nuke to add insult to injury with the YOLO. Yeah, just look at that shield spam, and even... Oh, that's the comm standing over there. Because why wouldn't you shield spam when a Mavor's coming in on you? All you really can do, to be honest. Anyhow, this is going to get through. I don't think there's enough. There goes one missile out. 2 missiles out, actually, so they did manage to stop it. And up goes the SMD spam already. So there was one over there. There's another nuke going to the front base. And that's all dead. Random transport flies out, manages to get away, but that's... Oh, is that a Scathus? Let's see that right at the back. So that is what Biak has been doing. He ecoed up and built a Scathus right at the back of the map, and all that fire is coming over. That's going to be it. That is going to be it. There goes the next YOLO coming out. That's going to be a death sentence right there. Scathus shells are flying over. And that's going to be all she wrote. Mavor did go up. Mavor tried, but the shield spam was just too much. And it managed to hold against one Mavor, as it should, if you're assisting that much with shield generators and popping them up one after the other over and over and over. Eventually, I think the Mavor would get through because you run out of space to put shields, but such a close thing. There we go. There's the YOLO. That's going to be the Mavor. That's going to be the knockout of the game. That is going to be GG for Team 2, especially with the Scathus shells raining down as well. Falcon knows it. He controls K's out his comm, even though the YOLO didn't get it. Whereas Knockback stands his ground, eats the YOLO.
Strategic launch detected.
More nukes. More scatters. That's a satellite. Talking about insult to injury. Insult to injury, that's a satellite. Flying overhead. I mean, I'd say I guess he deserves something. TMK's done a stellar job at mid. And once again, MVP is that. But, just watch these scatter shells come in. How much damage are they going to do? Oh, Migraine is out. He's control cage. Scatter shells bombard all over the bases here and kill a bunch of stuff. Look at the damage to the ground. Anti-nuke fires once. Nuke fires two. And yellow goes down. And we have a desync at the end. We won't worry about that. It's pretty much game over from this point. Shotgun out. He does his job. All the destruction. Monkey is getting blistered by the defense satellite. Monkey's not going to get anything done against all this. With this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and that. Yuck, it finishes off a laser. That's just being rude. Destruction, devastation, mayhem. It's all going boom. There's nothing left. Well, actually, he has managed to give full assist on this defense here, and it has got a couple of missiles back into it, but yeah, I don't think it's charging fast enough even with all that assistance to finish off. And we have the scatters landing on the shields as well, so you know, there we go. JCB throws out the GG, E-Control K's out, and now it is just a little old Scar. He's running away from, oh, it might actually get stopped. It does. So he survives for a little bit longer. Nah, he's just leaving. So there we have it, folks. A team display from up here. Another YOLO going for this. That's going to be everything else dying. And yep, there we go. There's control K from Scar as well. So some good efforts. So JCV could not quite break on the left there. They could not quite break the middle. There was, when the GC came up, there were a whole lot of units sitting here not helping the GC out. Had they pushed in, I think this would have been a different story. They could have come and they could have helped cleaned up shop. The Navy on the right, well, that was just a solid outright win for Mr. Salty Pup, who was the only person to die on Team 1, by the way, from a random nuke. But there we go. Fun little map. Navy very important if you get control of that. And but seeing the YOLO come out right at the end there. Scathers, rude. Assistance on that Mavor could have been the difference. And the honestly, that was a matter of seconds for being loaded in time. I'm still going to call that MVP, no matter what anybody else says. That right there, I would say was key to the game being won. That one moment. Okie dokie. 2 hours in and we have one game left to cast, and I very much need to have a drink break to soothe my throat. Okie doke, people, we have it. We have game number 4. And this has been sent in by one of my followers. They gave me a replay link and I watched it and I thought, okay, I'll cast that. Why not? And what do we have? It's Saturn's. Saturn's Clutch. Who knows Saturn's Clutch? Let's get on with it. So Mixer Joes and a couple of high levels there, so pretty balanced. Got good mixture. Anyway, let's have gander at the details. On the front for team number 1, we have Onion King, and he is going a Lavender UEF. Up on the beach Navy position, we had the Pony, who said, I can't build. I'm Not sure what happened there. Apparently he couldn't build. Anyway, he is white. He is Aeon. And that's a I can't build start. Trying to get things sorted. In the back air position is Hell 9000. Aeon. Team 1, the Aeon Navy. It is Olaf. He is a yellow Seraphim. So we do not have any Cypern on team number 1. That is all double Aeon, 1 Seraphim, 1 UEF. Their opponents today on team number 2. Down here we have Microchip. He is grey, he is UEF, and he is stomping his way to the middle already. This is, well actually, Onion King is sticking in his base. That is a very unusual start on settings. Normally you see almost straight away Commander going to the boat because you don't want, this is a lot of reclaim to potentially miss out on, and you don't want to. Really don't want to. Anyhow, the Beach Navy over here, we have SpongeBob Noob. He is light blue, he is Aeon, and he, way up in the rear guard air position, we have Mr. Eigel 9, the Eigel, and he is orange, he is Cybern, and he... Engineer swap perhaps? I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, final Team 2 player on the rock, Navy position, it is Zigster, and he popped himself up on Aeon, and he Burgundy. So there we have it. Game balance at 86%, but the ratings aren't that much different, so we're probably looking at games played being the variance, and we should see some drops planned from rock players. And factory there, we have Argo might be a she. He, she. I don't know, man. How do you tell the gender on one of these things? It's a bit ambiguous, don't you think? The way. Absolutely fine. Alright, so we have a little air factory is up for Mr. Zigster. He's got an intercept out, and yep, some scoots are out there as well, but we don't have any sorry, we do have an air factory because he built that first, but he's just popping engineers out of there, no transport as of yet. Bit silly to go for a transport at this stage when you have not scouted or learnt anything. So more NGs. Transport, yes, no, just some more NTs to defend, wants to keep that rock safe. Whilst over here we have still no air factory. There it is. So there's the air factory for Olaf, so he's he popped out a transport, he could beat him to the rock. He hasn't even finished his air factory yet. He could slap one out really quickly, throw some engineers on, get over here and claim the rock ahead of Olaf, which will cause him to spend a bunch of resources trying to take it back. But hey, this is how it is. Now you're going to forgive me, I am going to have to mute a couple of times for a couple of drink breaks. Slightly rough on the voice after a couple of hours, and it may go a bit wonky. Alright, let's check out the middle of those. So we have here, and you can see already, we check out the reclaim totals, just how much difference it has made from Microchip rushing his comp to the front. That is nearly 3 times the reclaim for Team 2 to Team 1. That is a lot. A lot of difference. So, yeah. If you're sitting there and you're playing settings, honestly, get your ass to mid. Go in front. You cannot let that reclaim fall into opponent's hands, because they will. They'll take it all. Absolutely zero fucks given. And interestingly, neither of these guys actually have a combat unit coming to us. Oh no, there we go. Quite often see the land spam start up earlier just to be extra annoying. Try and push it out and just push the other commander away, get some damage in, get him out of the battle. We see Microchip's attention was obviously elsewhere for a bit because his comm was standing quite still, just while he did other things. And he's just laying down some damage on Onion King. Actually, he's not reclaiming at all. A curious decision, but apparently one that he's quite satisfied with. Nope, he's going for the reclaim now. So there we go, picking up some more. Alright, excuse me for a short drink break, but we can see that there we go. We've got a drop from Zixter claiming his island. We still have nothing over here. That looks like a... Nope, he's popping down a sonar. Ishvilfavia. I probably absolutely mudded the translation on that. Transport comes in from Deponi. So he wants to grab some of this reclaim as well. Engineers are out and reclaiming Ahoy, but there is a commander in the area which may decide they don't get much more than that. Still, some reclaims better than none, and I think he realised maybe his teammate was struggling a little bit with the mid-reclaim. Well behind, and down go the NGs. Alright then. So, again, sorry, thanks for following Ishville, and I'll just mute a moment for a quick drink break, and you can watch all the action happening in the mid. Okay, I appreciate that, and thank you. I am back, and this is an attempt at a point defense while the commander is in range and shooting at you. Doesn't seem like the greatest idea, and this looks like it's going to be a hold for Microchip. Onion has some factories planned back here to help get some more build power, get some more units, and hopefully hold the mid off. Let's have a quick look at the ecos. Well, we see right here, Microchip has a bunch of T2 mixes in his base, and I think that reclaim has let him get the advantage. 2-3 mass income versus what? It's going to be reclaim. Mr. Trick? Maybe he gave more of it to his teammates to help out. Anyway, checking out over here, well, we did have a drop down from Olaf. He's got a few combat units in there just in case, just to help shoot things off, just in case. Mr. SpongeBob decided to counter drop, but he's pretty safe. Engineers back here, build factory, pop down a radar, and we'll see the rest of that kit all sorted. Front mix for Onion. That one, well, yes, it is T2 actually. Wowza, he's a brave lad. He doesn't plan on losing any ground, does he? He has slapped everything into eco. Comparatively, Microchip has slapped a whole lot into units. Though there is now some PD going down, it's going up not too shabby. So it's got units, got some PD. I think you can probably hold that okay. Microchip has to fall back. He might want to think about getting an upgrade on this com perhaps. It has been transferred over, just some T1 entities to help out. Livet, hello, guten Tag. Guten Tag, ich will Phobia. Bomber over here being annoying, kills off a few engineers. That's going to just delay things out a little bit, but they get shot down by a... yeah. Spicy T2 mix, but I know why he's got it there, because the adjacency bonus to 4 factories will help out quite a lot. We have T2 upgrade going down for Onion. If you can get that up, he'll be able to hold much better. Yeah, a single Tier 1 artillery wanders on up and gets absolutely destroyed. Goes the tank. Let's see this happen again. Comes into range. Dies a horrible death. When the artillery lands. You got a waypoint there or something. He does. It's a spicy waypoint. Yep, he's just realised what's going on. Let's not do that, shall we? Good idea. Alright, T2 going down for Microchip as well, so he's getting himself up. T2 is done for Onion King. I imagine we'll see some triads start. Oh, drone even. So he wants some more build power. Fair enough to him. He knows what he's doing. Up here we have, well, it's a transport being caught out by a couple of interceptors. It's a, well, there's nothing on the transport, so I don't think there's any kind of loss to be had there. And both navies are actually pretty quiet. We have a factory here for Deponi, so he's going to start speaking up, grabbing a few factories out and going to start building things. Over here is the first factory for Zixter, so around about the same time 4 factories on them. Up here we still have just that, and that was a shot down transport. Was that a dropped transport for more units? Or was that going to be a drop that was caught? Like SpongeBob drop that died. You never know. T2 is done up the front for microchip, and he straight away throws down a missile launcher. So he's going to rely on his units up here to keep things away. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea. Brave engineer. Sticking behind the walls he's building. As soon as they go though, he's a dead man. SpongeBob says, my opponent is going cancer. Lots of T2 transports. Well, you know, I wouldn't say that's cancer. Drops are a valid strategy. Here's units. I don't see the lots of T2 transports he's talking about. I don't see them anywhere. Nope. Nope. Oh, he's got T2 here, and there is a transport being built. Don't see any others though. Let's check out the mid situation, and we have... well, we never finished off that attack launcher. It is sitting right there. Unbuilt. Not finished. And it's going to be a PD creep from Onion King. He's got the build power to go with him. He's got a rover floating around, just give that little bit of extra bonus. Engineer following up, and units to back up any pushes that might happen. The more important question, do we have TMD? Well, no we don't. But the Triad is now in range and starts opening up on units, and you're going to want to move them out of the way. Looks like he is planning to finish that missile launcher, and what could he get? Well, he could knock that out. He could knock out some power back here and some more mixes in the base. And that's flak, that's not TMD, so if that's not spotted and he gets a missile away, not even a single scout, he's got no idea what he's walking into. Drone dies from T1 inties because that's what drones do. Trying to build a Triad in range of another Triad doesn't usually go down that well. Even less well when there's two Triads. So that's going to be a horrible story, and now the commander's in range of Triads. Keep walking. Shoo. Don't want to stand there. Alright, how's that going? It is on the build. Alright then, let's check out the Navy situations. Well, there's no Navy. There's barely any Navy. We've got 4 units from Deponia. We have 5 units from Deponia. We have 3 from Zigster. So, kind of surprised. Normally there's at least a couple of bands of Navy at this point in the game. And we have 5 units from SpongeBob and 0 units from Olaf. Custom torpedo launchers are going up. We do have a Navy factory in the water, but that's about it. It's not even building any units. So he is going for the drops. In fact, there we go. There's a T2 transport out there. Question is it going to make it somewhere? Trying to guide it around the very edge of the map. Pops off for a moment and then makes its way back on, and we will see it go. Nowhere, apparently. Okay, up here, I would say that has not yet been scouted because there is no defense up against it at this point. There's some flags, some triads, some T2NGs. Nope, no TMD there. Onion is asking Air to scout mid. You know what you do. You know what you do, Onion. You take these engineers, like these ones or something like that, you build an air factory, then you sit there, have it on scouts, pop it on repeat, and just have them fly on over. Then you see everything. Got an air factory? Off of... What? I didn't even see it. Like, I spotted the engineers, so I didn't even... Oh my god. I'm open more tight than I thought. Anyway. But he's got the factory. He can send his own scouts over. Holy shit. Sorry, I'm just flabbergasted. He's like, oh, I need scouts on mid. And he's got the goddamn factory to make his own. Absolutely mental. Alright. That's been scouted now, so he knows his tank launcher is there. Will we see TMD being thrown up? Because it has a missile. Launch it while you can. Go with that, for example. That would be a great pick. T2 mix is good. And TMD. You want to fire it before that gets done. Too late. And the second mode going up. Alright. That is now useless. Because it's TMD. Alrighty. We had an attempt to get into the Navy from Microchip actually. And well, that hasn't gone so well because that's been picked up by Deponent. He's got some units in there. Just killing that on down. We have the drop coming in from Olaf, just while I was talking about that. It has been pinged. Is it going to land is the question. Interceptors are out. I don't think it's going to make it. Got some ASF in the region as well. Ooh, it's going to be close. Lots of damage from the ASF. Down it goes. And one little Zui. With all that survived from the drop. And there's the ping out, and we're going to see a reclaim order as he wanders straight up to some engineers. Dying like 5 seconds flat if he did. But, no. Microchip? It is Zui slowly cleaning your base one shell at a time. You've got idle engineers which can go and reclaim it right now. It's amazing. Strap bomb comes over from Owl, and that gets done. I don't think that's for a single dead thing on the way. Anyhow, there's still the Zui going on. It's going to kill this, which kills all the engines around it as well. So power down, engines down, and now it's just going to have some fun and slowly tickle away at whatever else it feels like. There we go, T2 mix, because why not? If it's going to be ignored, it's going to do as much damage as possible. It's going to have fun doing it. Alrighty. Checking out the mid situation, and as expected this has 0 kills because of tactical missile defense. Might as well stop pulling it, and we have other TAC missiles, the smaller versions coming from T2 mobile launchers. Going to make this position pretty untenable for our old Microchip. It's going to need a lot more than one, but let's go to stop that. And the Zui still hasn't been found. Hero Zui, 3 rank vet Zui. About to go up 4 rank. 5 mass killed, 2,487 mass. That has been worth the entire drop, I think. When you've knocked off power, you've knocked off mass extractor, which is now also not producing mass. What's coming out of here? An engineer, a Sparky. That'll kill him eventually. Is it going to be too late though? Oh, just dies. Is that going to do damage? No. So close. So damn close. I wanted that one more shell just because Hero Zui. And that is a hell of a swarm coming in from Onion King. It is being fed through these wall sections, having to go around into the gap, but honestly there's just too much to contend with. All the point defense is gone. Everything is just absolutely gone, and well, Microchip, you need to run, not build, just go. Right now. You've got problems, my friends, and that problem is in the shape of units steaming in your front. Even have overcharge? Well, he does. For some reason, he's not using it. But that is a great overcharge spot. Units come in, units die. Instead, he's walking away, killing things one by one. He's got some units coming out to try and help defend. Looks like he's getting assistance from Eagle, actually. Popping down some T1 point defense to help slow the horde. No, don't stand still. Yeah, that's a water move if I saw one. When you get out, when you get into the water, there's no navy to worry about because there's no navy. There's literally no navy. What in the hell? Strangest navy I've ever seen. Still, that is a lot of units coming on up. They run into the point defense that was left behind by Eagle. Point defense is going down pretty damn quickly though. There's a lot of units having to go at the end. There's no walls. They're going to be devoid of life. And T2 units with shields coming along too, so that's going to cause even more issues. That's a silly idea. And now we have bombers, well T1, so I thought they were stressed for a moment, but they're not. And Microchip is well on their way away from all of this. There's not a lot stopping though. That's Omni about to go down, so that's a big loss as well, and that's quite an investment, and that's going to be a lot of intel just disappearing. Look at all the stuff they can see. All the stuff, and it's gone. Now they can see nothing. Navy's coming over from SpongeBob maybe to help out anything that strays a bit close to the coastline, but in all honesty, this is a solid push. Now, what I would do at this point, push enough to take out as much eco as possible, but stop this. Stop the trickle. I would stop the trickle. I'd focus on getting my own eco up a bit. Upgrading on tech. Trickle is good, and he's taking out a lot of eco, taking a lot of build power. Just move it all in and destroy as much as possible. And then you'll be ahead of your opponent. You can stop, you can eco, and as you say, go into a point. You could join up over here and get some extra Navy pressure on the side. It looks like Microchip was trying to get into the Navy, but unfortunately, that's not his problem right now. There's just too much coming through. Keep moving down. Looks like these guys are actually going to try and scoot around perhaps and try to cause some damage over here, but these guys need to keep moving. Just keep moving down here, get rid of the HQ, get rid of all these mixes here, and that will be a very, very bad time for Microchip. Have a look at the eco difference now. Everybody else is in the hundreds. He has been knocked back to 40. And yet the units continue. Kill off that. There we go. Finishes the job the Hero Zui tried to do. That is down. Just focus. Eco. Kill it. Kill it now. Kill it now. Now it looks like he's trying to do a bit of run by just to get out of range of these. Also getting plinked from the Navy though. Is he going to kill this by proxy drive-by? No, apparently not. Just going to pop these units here, head on back, kill some more. Just keep on going. Don't stop. Got those mobile missile launchers are now having some fun. What are they shooting at? I don't know if they're manually aimed or they're just having a go, but either way that was a serious amount of devastation. That's a lot of things dead, and there we go. Nope, they have been picked off by T2PD. Still a good shout. Could maybe get that down with a bit of a push. Is that going to do it? How much damage is it doing? A few hundred times, gets out a few more shots at my work. T1 bombers. Yep, the Annoyance did make it over there, and that's going to be a mix down on that front. Oh, is it going to go down? I think it's going to survive. Those tanks are going to get there just in time. No more missiles from that guy. And the mass extractor survives. Little swarm, another swarm here coming in, so that was the right idea. Stop and group up to make things a little bit better. But what you should be doing right now, eco. We have the T3 sitting under a single T2 shield. But you have access to T3. It is time to do more. Do more because that's all T1, but T1 beats T none. No Navy out whatsoever. Versus all this. Honestly, why would you? These guys have actually come through. What are they killed off for? They killed off that mass extractor, that one there. They started wandering up this way, but they ran into a commander and a couple of point vents, so not going to get much more done. They didn't even kill that one. That was a T3, so they went past that, killed that one and that one. So they were probably both T3 as well. Do we have the... No, that was only T2. That one was T3 though. So yeah. Missed out on that as a T3 mass extractor. Got a T2, got a T3, then died. Still an annoyance. And it's all eco, it's all damage, it's all problems. But let's have a look at the navies. Right, we have T2 in the water for SpongeBob. He is working his way. We have T3 in the water for SpongeBob. I take that back. There is a battleship rolling out. And in the meantime, we have precisely 0. Oh, sorry, I take that back. 1 sub. 1 T1 sub in the water for Olaf. What is this even? What has he done? Is he working on something we don't know about? We've got a coupler, TMD, we've got T3. I'm so confused. We know he's 900 rated, but surely... Well, got a lot of defense over on the island, so he doesn't want to lose that. And he's put a lot of eco in defending this. Couple of T2 mixes, T1, yeah, I don't get it. But he's about to be swarmed, and the problem with that is he's going to swarm in. He's going to kill all of this very, very easily. And then Mr. Battleship here is going to start bombarding the fuck out of everything. Kind of similar to what's happening over here. So the only... So that was actually a really good push in from Onion King. He's done all that damage. But now, all this is just going to get gradually, slowly destroyed because his teammates. Well, we've got T2 there for Depony. We have T3 over here for Zigster. That's, here we go, finally getting some units moving in. Surely he's scouted that, right? He's got to know how much is there. Does he think that's Navy? Don't know. Not sure what he's thinking. Is that a support commander? Should be fine. So I think he thinks there's more over here, but there actually isn't. I'm sure as soon as he realizes that, he's just going to move right on up and just wipe that. Here we go. That's going to be a problem for Olaf. Because these right here, these torpedo launchers, you know what they're good against? Subs, maybe. Against destroyers, they just sit at range and explode them out of the water. And he's building panic torp bombers. So you know things are bad when your opponent's building panic torpedo bombers. Come the T3 torps from the air player though, so Hell 9000 getting in to try and help out. Those are going to be good assets if they are. So they're going straight for the cruiser first because that is the good choice. Get the cruiser out of the water so that less torps get shot down. But we have air coming over from Igul, so keep an eye on that. So there they are. They're going to be around to help clean those. We have the ASFs up here from Hell being not so useful. You sort of want to have those in the area to help out. And up here, Navy has made its way over looking for the other Navy HQ that doesn't exist over here. So there's absolutely nothing in the water. Factories being spammed up, well, probably about, I don't know, 10 minutes too late. You wanted to spam up these factories 10 minutes ago. What was that pop? That's a support commander, I'm pretty sure. But there we go, things are dying. We're down to one torpedo launcher. As soon as that gets primary down, there's nothing else in the water to live alive. It's all going to die. Shots are starting to come over towards the base as well. Is that battleship gone? Down here? Yep. So having to go with the side island. It's yeah. I mean, your eco is great. Has he told them to shoot over there? Because there's thing right here. There we go. His eco was great, but his units were not. So we did not strike the balance for that. On the other bond, however, we have, well, Depony seems to be holding at the moment. Although, exactly, what good's eco if you can't do anything with it? Absolutely nothing. So Depony is holding over here. He's got a good swarm of subs. And, well, there's a few destroyers, which can help with that. And looks like some T2 subs coming out here as well. Got a bunch of, well, destroyers still can put out a lot of damage if the Aeon ones hit their target, which they're doing a pretty good job of because these guys ain't dodging at all. But the battleships just explode things from long range. There we go. A couple of volleys and that thing's almost dead. Go, another volley and we're gone. Down here we have the shield TMD panic trying to which cruisers never really works in my experience. Trying to out TMD cruisers, eventually there's just a critical mass you can't hold, your shield will drop at the wrong time and everything will die. Alright, checking out the right islands. Yep, that's all going down. We've got 2 battleships off the coast now, just rocking into that. And up here, well, we have had damage. Losing mixers, losing shields, losing structures. We have the T2 RT panic now. So we stopped with the torp bombers and has now started with the T2 artillery. Well, again, too little too late. Another shield generator being thrown down. Get off upgrading that one because it's almost done. These guys are just going to be able to work their way through. Look at this. Now SpongeBob's even slapped his own factories down here and you can just start grabbing all this reclaim. There is some to be had. On the left pond we have, well, it was a bit of a pushback from Depony, but I think it was mostly scare tactics because the battleships are very much alive. They just fell back a bit to not get caught out by a swarm. Do we have a T3 shift yet? No, that's still a T2 HQ. So Depony's sticking to the T2 game. Looks like he's just spamming out. He's got a lot of willpower. And that's actually a massive air grid. Is he thinking about torpedo spam? Because that is, what, 3, 6, 12? Plane perhaps? Air grids ready to go. That could help him very much in the water. Because at the moment it appears they do have air control. Eagle appears to be a bit behind. Maybe not so. Let's have a count on that. 38 ASF for Eagle and okay, 75, so twice as much for Hell. Very much. Subs go for the factories. Well, possible, except we do. Oh no, we don't have any torpedo bombers. Torpedo defense. So the subs could make it through. They would have to get through destroyers, although I don't see many. There is a T2 sub swarm here, which you'd have to be cautious of. But those are running into the destroyers themselves, and I'm going to be honest, I think subs don't do that great against destroyers. There's the T1 swarm coming in and torp bombers, so yeah, you can see the subs in, but they're likely to die from the things like this and this. And wow. They just got airlifted over and now they're quite happily just standing here building up point defense. Nope, a SAM. This is disastrous. Although the T2RD has turned to started firing on them. Because they're spotted because they're standing right beside some other buildings, of course. An Omni. Take a few steps forward, slap down a couple of T1 point defense, let it wreck this shit. And your life will be great. I don't know why he's building an Omni. Seems like a really strange idea. At least the Sam's getting some work to do. He's got a couple of kills already. But no. There you go. Walk forward. No, T1. T1 has more DPS than T2. Walk them in range. Walk them in range. Slap down some T1 point defense and it will absolutely destroy all of that really quickly. Looks like he wants to try and keep them alive though. They're walking back to be safe from the arty. And anyway, how's things looking in the mid? Well, we see there's some damage there. Lost point defense. There was a T2 but it has died. Got some shields up. That battleship is going to have some fun. Got some more destroyers there. Shield just cannot keep up with that. See this mass extractor die. Oh, oh. Is a torrent. Yes, it is. And SpongeBob has built an experimental. What have you built, sir? Tempest? No, I don't see a Tempest. There we go. GC. So he's built a GC to hold the middle. Not that there's any pressure coming from that way, but okay. And you mentioned about the push through for the factories. There it is. So Depony's just grabbed a bunch of units and simply said, go for it. At the worst, they could kill off build power. Get these frigates in. They're very good at killing off build power. They can do a good job of murdering all these engineers. And here they go. The subs are in. They're pushed right on back. We do have some Vespers around though. They're going to clean things up, and down the NGs start going. Look at them all. And of course killing off build power is not a bad idea, because you can just squeeze so many NGs around these, and look at them all go. So many dead engineers. All those little guys floating to the bottom. All of it. And more over there. Of course, there's more engineers that can be built from these factories here. Just roll them on out and remake them. But that is a lot of dead build power. And the frigates are still going because they're being slowly picked off by a few T2 units. But the rapid rate of fire, the low health of the engineers is just an absolute slaughter. There's not that many left. That'll slow things down for a little bit and maybe give them a bit of breathing room. We have a whole host of T2 over here. It's a lot of destroyers. They can produce a significant amount of damage if they get in range. Yep. Looks like he stopped being scared of T2AD and has just pushed right up with these battleships, and they are dealing the damage. Maybe if they can get through these shields, they could take some more stuff out. But now we have turrets, of course, in the region. Those things are just a mess of explosions. Is that sitting in range of T2AD? That's not a good spot. That's not a good spot. On the other side, though, we have tech missiles for Africa. So many coming over. In comes the torpedo swarm trying to get work done. There is a shield boat in there, a single one perhaps, and we're going to see a bunch of these go down. So we mentioned that air grid up here, and yep, still working on those torpedo bombers. And that is a lot. Despite there being a whole lot of cruisers in the mix, there is still a lot of dead stuff. Both air and cruisers all going down, so that will help New King a little bit. He's trying to get into the Navy game as well. In fact, there's his T2 Navy on that front. Because, well, let's be honest, Olaf isn't in the Navy. Oh, he has lost a battleship to this arty, so something's gone wrong there. You really want to get that turret out of range of this artillery. Dying for no reason. But look at all this, just absolute bombardment. There's no way you can keep up with that defensively. Sure, he's got a whole bunch of shields, but just the amount of attack missiles that are coming in. He's got a bunch of TMD, but the direct fire from the battleships as well. I have air for the moment, says Hell. Well, you do. You've had it for most of the game, I think. Always switch up and build something else. That is a support commander going out, and this GC hasn't taken a single step. Microchip hasn't moved. Are they working on something? Because he's got no ground. Navy's... oh, he's working on Navy for sure, but... well, that's a build pattern if ever... okay. Salvation. There we go. Salvation going up, and that's going up pretty quickly. And there's more build power coming, so... this is their game plan. Not a bad one. Olaf is pinned back, and looks like all of these guys have decided to vacate the area, so he couldn't crack it. I think he needed some more, and he would have been alright. Might as well sit back with the turrets and just cause some mayhem. That's a strange place for an aircraft carrier to go. Although, having said that, it does have some good anti-air capability, so yeah, this isn't a silly choice. And we see here we are trying the tech defense, which is a losing battle. Right down here, this HQ is going to go absolutely destroyed. You've got a couple of turrets having a go at it, although they appear to have changed targets. Going for Sam for some reason, so that must be auto-targeting. Ah, there we go. No, still going the wrong direction. Going for the TMD. Alright. So manual targeting want to take Team D down to make things worse. And there's the GC, it's finally on the move. Stomping up towards the front, there's really not... Well, I'd say there's enough here to stop a GC. Got a few Percivals in there, got some Titans, got a bunch of T2. And got some point defense, got a bunch of RT, so I think there'd be enough to stop that. If it wasn't for the fact there was all this happening. Distracting units. Battleships loving things in. Torrents having a go. Kind of looks like with SpongeBob backing off is going to give Olaf a chance to rebuild. Oy. That's a lot. That's a lot of T2 subs as well, so absolute mayhem. We've got some gunships out from hell as well to try and assist. Got some ASF trying to come in and clean those up, but they're running afoul of his air wing. They're going to die. That is just absolute mayhem. You get these guys in close, these Exodus destroyers, and they will wreak absolute havoc. They have some good strong torpedoes along with torpedo defense, so they can very useful against subs as well. When they're in close, it's very hard to dodge their primary weapon, which does a lot of damage and shreds things. And these subs are just the icing on the cake because, as we know, Aeon units, they don't have a lot of versatility. These battleships have nothing to stop torpedoes, and they are going to get absolutely shredded. Absolute destruction. That's going to help out mid, because that's going to push all the GC. Wait, the GC's running away? Decides he doesn't want to bar of all that and has vacated the area. A curious decision, because now it's going to run afoul of torpedoes. Alright, that's just absolute mayhem. Chicken out down here trying to get some defending sub hunters out, but in accordance with all the air protecting it, torpedo bombers, subs, destroyers, you don't need T3 Navy when you can spam this much T2. And boy oh boy has he been spamming. That is 16 T2 factories. 16. You throw on top of that all of these which are all building. They're all T2 air factories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11 T2 air factories. And that's a recipe for I want to own the water. They just keep moving in. So all they got to do is just keep moving in. However, this is just about done. And I think that might be out of range of that Navy. Maybe Torrents could reach. Maybe. Let's got some Torrents. What's the range on those? I think Torrents could reach if they pushed right up to the edge of the right to the edge of the bay there. Be very close anyway, but that's it. Scathus is done. Of course nuke subs will reach. They have a nuke. But no, I know, nuke subs have their own tech launchers, and I think they're the longest range tech in the game, aren't they? Like, they beat the T2 static ones, they actually fire further than the Torrents. Yeah, they're very, very long range tech missiles. Aircraft carrier getting absolutely decimated. Big fat juicy target for destroyers. Can't dodge for shit, and it's massive, so it's always going to get hit. That you're going to get away. You're going to get away. Because the destroyers are focusing on something else, namely a battleship. And other destroyers. And torpedo defense. Lovely little spread fire there, taking out a whole bunch at once, so target the whole lot, shift G, and they'll just fire at all different ones. And that was very... Even while trying to do all of this, still has the presence of mind to grab them and micro the spread fire on those, which makes a huge difference. And the subs are just in here as well. That has been everything just pushed right back from by deponing. We have a battleship came out and promptly died to subs. Subs in turn are dying to torpedo launchers over here. from SpongeBob, so he's trying to help out in the North Pond now because, well, he really does try to help out. Right at this point, that's very much going to the case, and here's the Scathus. It is going, and it is absolutely smashing out the air grid of hell. They have a salvation, says hell. You think? Everything is just dying. Power's gone. His T3 HQ is gone, so no, there it is there. So that's still alive, so at least he can build T3 air. Scathus has changed target to this air grid over here now. We are going to see absolute destruction. So that's a big problem in the face of big. Have a nuke launcher as well being built now. Well, who needs a Paragon when you got this much eco and this much willpower? What is this eco? No, he could do it more. He could do it more. He could build a Paragon. We have nuke defense up there. We should have nuke defense around here somewhere. There it is. So that's got a couple in there. The Pony says, I guess that's GG. Well, I mean, don't have an answer for the Scathus, do you? Raining hell down upon this. Microchip says thanks for the carry because he stuffed up mid-play. Well, yeah, he did. That's a lot of walls. Holy shit, that's a lot of walls. Trying to get back into the Navy here is a good shot. We have Restorers coming in. Strong on their own. They're actually going to win against these ASF without this air wing coming in, I reckon. There's enough Restorers here and not enough ASF to clean them out entirely. They are primarily an anti-air gunship. It takes them a while to chew through things on the ground, but my word, are they sturdy. And now the ASF come in from hell as well, and that's just going to clean up absolutely everything. And these Restorers are going to have a grand on time. I think there's some Restorers left in there. Yep, there they are. And they're going to kill off the eco, and that is going to be the nail in the Davy coffin for the North Pond. This eco goes, there's going to be nothing left to support these factories building. And just look at all of this. So much Navy in the water now. Like SpongeBob is trying to get back into it as well. I hear that was a support commander. No need to panic. Just a support commander. It's fine. Alright, and that's hover. So Riptide's floating out as well. But over here we have some issues. And the issues could be this. If that goes down, it's going to open up a world of pain for nukes to come in, because I don't think he would have a second. No. That's gone. Do we have one down here? No, we don't. Oh, poo. We have a nuke ready to go. I know that one was loading. It's not loaded. And King says, oh fuck, they sniped S&D. Yes, indeed they did, but I don't see a launcher that's actually loaded. Well, that one's loading, but it's not loaded. And is that a second Scathus? Oh, yes it is. Oh my. My oh my. This is, alright. So Onion has tried to get back into the water up here. He's thrown in a bunch of units and he slapped down some Atlantis. Not a bad idea, except you kind of want to submerge that, buddy. Don't want to leave your Atlantis scooching along the surface. And you especially don't want to leave it scooching along the surface. Oh no, there's only some destroyers. I was going to say, if there are battleships abound, then you really didn't want to. But Onion King has finished his another experimental, so second Atlantis. So he's definitely trying to help out the South Pond there, but this is just... How's about we get rid of the air grid, says SpongeBob Noob. Oh my god. And well, he's doing pretty much that. There is one T3 air factory left for hell, and it is the HQ. If he knocks that down, it's going to take a while to get back into the air game. Oh, sorry, it's two. There's a second T3 air factory there. Has no power. He has no power. All his pigeons are gone. stalling for 5,000. What is he stalling on? Well, that will be the Omni in the middle. That will be the factory that's still building. That will be the engineers trying to pop up an SMD. Yeah, you might want to oh, something's happened because he's got power again. Just to find out what I was building and stop that. Alright, we have a swarm of T2 torpedo bombers. Wonder what they're going to go for. Here we go, aircraft. Yeah, the Atlantis. There's an aircraft carrier, yes, but the Atlantis has pushed up and is shooing away the destroyers. It's taking a fair amount of damage though. And here we go, units are creeping over from Onion. These lovely hovers, they could absolutely shred these poor little engineers that would die in a heartbeat. But right now, this is the final death, I feel. So many subs. Hover, well, subs ain't going to touch hover, but this is going down in half a heartbeat. See you later. There's just going to be a couple of battleships left, which they're going to die from the subs if nothing else, because there's destroyers floating around as well. Another battleship over here, he's going to die. And that's going to leave the top one with just a few defences here. And cheeky Riptides, this one's got 4 kills, 2 stars to its name. Actually, a bunch of them have 2 stars to their name. They have just been going around and cleaning up all these SAMs. Still doing. And he has built another Atlantis, so there's a 3rd one in the water, and trying to take out a destroyer. Some Riptides help him out with that defense as well. Torrent down here is still having to go at, well, you know, it's actually not getting through because there's enough attack defense here to stop all of the missiles. Kind of looks like maybe 1 or 2 got through at some point and did some damage, but don't look like they're going to get through any more. However, how's that second salvation? Well, that is 3/4 done. This is what they need to have an answer for. These right here. Don't need to worry about losing this Navy. They do need to worry about losing this Navy, because if Navy gets up on the beach, you're going to get some battleships easily be within range of those, and they can start destroying them quite happily. Nuclear launcher is still taking a while to load. We have that's going up really quickly. And soon there's going to be 2 Scathus, and now that the air's been wrecked, absolutely wrecked, King's extracted himself over to there, we have focus going down on the power grid of Olaf, and my oh my, is that a grid you do not want to lose. Dear oh dear. Alright, we do have some stress out from the pony over here. Looks like they've been spotted by this air though, because it's zeroing in on it. I imagine that was an attempt to swing in and knock out something. Maybe not these, because they're under shields. Could be going for the S&D, which is not shielded. SpongeBob asks, what's the plan? And Zigster says, kill Beach for fuck's sakes. Wait, did they get missed? The Strats are still alive, and the air is moving away. Oh no, there we go. Refocused. I actually thought they were about to fly away and miss, because there were more Strats up there, I believe. Yeah, I think there was a 2-pronged attempt, so we had some Strats up here and Strats down here, so a good idea to go from both directions, but unfortunately Igel also split the air power and stopped both of them. But there we go. The Salvation has been trained on Deponi's air grid, and that is going to suffer a horrible death at the hands of Salvation. That second one up, that second one is up, so now that's 2 Salvations. A nuclear launcher, which is just about loaded. And is that all SAMs? That's a lot of SAMs being planned. And a donut, because why not? But yeah, 2 Salvations on your base is a bad thing. You're going to find that pretty much everything's going to die. Mr. Pony's air grid gone. I don't think he'll be too concerned because the air grid might be gone, but oh my word, does he have the Navy? All the Navy. There's just absolutely nothing left of what was there. 2 torpedo bombers flying over from Olaf. I don't know what they're going to go for. maybe these guys. These would be a good shout. A couple of annoying support commanders from Eagle. Honestly, there's enough T2 subs here to take all of that out anyway, so it doesn't matter. Alright, checking out the Salvation, now going for the main base, and there was a nuke launcher. I think I briefly saw the word nuking out of there. I think that was just about loaded. Like, within seconds of loading and firing. Just got lost. And it's going to be frustrating. He's sitting in the water, so he's safe from the Salvation himself. If he can basically get Razcoms into the water, that'll be his eco. So we have a lot of air from Eagle now, because, well, it's had nothing to fight against, because, hey, no air from hell. In fact, there's no air left from hell. He's only got a bunch of scouts there, so his air wing died somewhere. Couldn't even reserve them. Right, Atlantis is getting work done in the South Pond, which is dangerous. Nuke. There it is. It's going somewhere. Could be going here because the SMD has died. Yes, in fact it is. And a second nuke from... There we go. So, turns out that Olaf was doing something. And he says, okay, fuck that, I've killed it again. SMD is down, your commander should already be evac somewhere. There is, he's over there. That nuke is going to wipe out all of this. I don't think that nuke is going to get much done. I believe I saw an SMD somewhere. I know there was one down there. Land in range of that. Is there an SMD in mid? That's a buzzkill. That might actually land if they planned it right. That one definitely landed, and that's the base gone for Onion. Nope. Too close to this SMD. That does nothing. As left. Well, I don't know if that did as much as it could have. Certainly killed a lot of infrastructure. We still got some T3 pigeons, still got a couple of T3. Yep, there we go. Still got some T3 mixes. Looking at the devastation, I think it was most likely worth it. Just to kill... Oh, okay, it killed a lot. 71 kills. Now the Salvations have decided we don't like you having a nuke. They have already killed that, and the whole grid is getting absolutely decimated. All these T3 pigeons are gone, all the shields are gone. There's not much left. Hero dear. And a donut. So just to add insult to injury, your base has been shredded by Scathus, and now you have a donut overhead to kill the rest of your base. There are some SAMs in the mix which are actually doing a bit of damage. So must be a fair few of them. Zar thinks, maybe I don't want to sit over these and die, so promptly evacuates the area and is likely to do cleanup over here, I'd imagine, because why not? Up on here we have a lot of anti-air taken out there. These Salvations have been redirected again, though they're not letting Hell put the air grid back up. What's Zar doing? Well, it's going for the T3 Navy HQ. Is it going to get it? It's being shot at by quite a few SAMs from down there. It's going to manage it. It does. The HQ goes down, but the Tsar follows straight afterwards. So delays the South Navy for a while. In fact, we have another push from Onion Knight in the mid, so he's trying to breach the middle again. Really wants to get into that area and try and break things up. There's... Oh, to be fair, this is all the ground there is, but this is getting funneled through the walls, so that's not helping either. Do we have some units around? Could be Remark Raid trying to kill off the point defense. Down it goes, shield goes down, that helps. I do hear Titans, I do see Percivals, and these are T3 artillery also romping on over, so this position will go down. What do we have on the ground to defend against it? Well, some more T2PD back here, but this. But North Pond is very much white. I mean, there's just like, oh, we have more strats coming in, but yeah, they've got spotted again. So another strat attempt from Depony, and actually they might get a bit further because the ASFs are going in slightly the wrong direction. Are they going to make it, or what is that air doing? What are they going to get? There are a bunch of SAMs, going to lose a couple more along the way. More SAMs down here. Are they going to get a kill on something? There go some bombs down here. Impact, and they do. They have destroyed one of the salvations. So many strats come through, so many SAMs to get past, and that was a mistake from Eagle. The ASF yeeted off this way, while the strats went straight down. That could have been prevented, but either way, that is a great pick from Depony. So he's killed off one of the salvations. Really needed more shields earlier than that. The nuke, however, is still up and it's set to nuke again. The salvation's still going away. It's having himself a grand old time. What's it going for? Well, it's going for the main base of Olaf now, because their best target is the most built up infrastructure at the moment. That goes down, it's going to be a problem, but now we see this. Getting back into the Navy, or trying to get back into the Navy, but now there's frigates trying to clean that up. We have Zigsters in the air getting some torp bombers out. Those are Solaces, so they're the T3 torp bombers. They do very good against Navy. They'll be able to help clear things out as well. Zigsters telling Sponge to focus and kill one player at a time with Artie. Having said that, I don't think he's done an awful job with the salvations. He's kept all the rebuilding of air to a minimum. He's taking out the nuke over here, which could have been a problem, and he's now destroying the eco here for Olaf. So right now, hello, looky, strategic missile subs. I see 3. Are there more? 6. 6 nuke subs. My word. And more strats. It's only 5. Okay, they're not going to get much done. A bunch of scouts are coming over. Does that mean the nuke subs are going to be spotted? That's interesting. I thought they would actually see those. They need to fly right overhead or something, I guess. Interesting. I'm actually surprised those scouts did not see the nuke subs, because they're right there. Anyway, second salvation is back up. No, that's a third one. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3 salvations very shortly. Although I don't think this one's going to last, because that is torrent fire, or even it's just the nuke subs lobbing on in, and more stress coming in. So yep, all well and good. That one got scouted and taken out pretty promptly. So no third salvation at a time for you. That would be an absolute death sentence. This one's still going hard though. We have the nuke just about loaded once more. This salvation is just about up. So what's left over here? Well, a good amount actually. It's taken a while to get through the shields, and they've held for long just to keep distractions. So, and Zigster builds an experimental because Eagle has given everything over. So I don't know, maybe Eagle has had enough. The game has gone on for too long as far as they're concerned, and they just handed everything over at this point. It's been a long game. Another new going out. Where's that one going? Would do actually quite well to slap it down here. Of course, only if you knew that these were in the mix, you'd definitely be slapping on that spot. But nope, it is heading up northwards. Maybe it's going for this collaboration of... Yeah, I think it's going for this area here. Going to smash out all of this eco. Kill a fat boy that's in the making if it drops here. Which it does. Might be a bit far away from the fat boy. I think it might survive actually. Yeah. About half is going to die. All the factories are gone. Very short resume there. This push coming through the middle again. So some more desperation point defense. I think they'll hold for the moment, but the problem is also the Navy off the coast is lobbing shells and helping to kill stuff. And yep, that was the control K from Eagle. So they handed over absolutely everything and just said, hey, I'm done. And there is a GC down here, so got some defense. Could always wanted the GC up this way to help defend against this very slow but effective push. T3RD behind the scenes is helping to clean up things like this. Shells dropping on and destroying as they go. Of course, these TAC missiles from the nuke subs are going a long way. Although they're now facing off against multiple volcanoes, so they probably won't get much more done. What is... Don't see any game enders. So right now, I think what we've got going on down here is... Here we go. Still 6? Yep. 6 of those loading nukes, I would imagine, and Team 2 has no idea they're in the water. Alright, that GC has been wandering around, it has been cleaning up. That's a different GC. That one's still down there. So it came up, it poked its head up, and it has killed off the rest of that little wee push. So it's just that firing air, don't worry. With the Scathers. I keep saying Scathers. God damn it, they're Salvations. It's an S word, leave me alone. They are coming back up here and they are finishing off what is left of, well, basically they're destroying the rebuild again. They're making it so hell stays out of the air game. Absolutely destroying everything, even so far as to kill that little spot. And as we see it all, just raining salvation fire. Absolute destruction. How do you get your leg back into this eco-wise? Well, ask the pony. Got himself a massive income. I wonder if that's reclaim. Where are your rescoms? How many have you got? 9. So no, he's actually been left alone. This is probably the wrong choice. He has got power spread out around the place. He's still got shields over his mass there. He's built up every single mass extractor with the surrounds, and honestly, I think he should have been focused. T1 mixes over here. See? And we have an eye. So he's scouting with the eye, so he knows exactly what he's looking at. All these little tricks. I'm looking at that, I'm thinking it has to be reclaim. All the engineers got floating around. Actually, how many does he have? Let's count the T1 engineers. 318 T1 engineers floating around doing a reclaim. And holy moly, speaking of strats, you have a target for them, or they're trying to find a target. See, they're scouting around. If they can find something, they could kill somebody really easily. Are they trying to find a commander? Well, I mean, Onion is sitting in there in the puddle. Stress ain't going to kill him. So there's definitely a play to try and knock things out. Battleships in the water cannot have that. And I saw the strats. I think it was more that just they happened to be landed near where the scouts were. So they took off and killed them. As strats do. Defensive bombing. And holy moly. A whole wave of torrents. 15 torrents. That's what's already in the water. It's going to give them 17 in total. And hello, we have the nuke subs are a go. It's 3 launches out. I know we had point defense. Sorry, Sam. Oh, that one's died. I missed that. So this nuke defense has died at some point. How many do we have left for? We have this one has enough to shoot them all down. Is it going to do it in time though? Just. But that one is now empty. Do we have any other SMD in the area? Look at a donut which hasn't been used. Fat boy which hasn't been used. TML kill the defense. Wait, so your nuke subs actually managed to launch all the way down here and kill that off? That is it's not bad. Not bad at all. But now I know you had like 6 of these. Finally the salvations are targeting the eco. Are the rest of these loaded? How far away are they? Bit of distance. You'd think. Oh, more strats are out, and what are they going for? They're going for something, but they're not going to get it because Zigster is paying attention. And there's also a ton of SAMs. Hey! Gosh. Go, more techs coming in. Running to volcanoes, running to shields. And not going to get much done from there. Checking it out though. What is this? It seems like 2 salvations firing away out of eco, air players out of the game. I think that Zigster might have been right that they needed to kill off all of the beach eco, because right now the beach eco is what's doing it. This navy, nuclear subs, these torrents coming in. Oh, Olaf has to be careful because this commander's gone for a wander out of the water. He has been picked up. I don't know if the salvations are just targeting the general area where all the YOLO. Actually trying to build a YOLO when there's already salvations. Bold move. Didn't have the echo for it, and well, guessing it got scouted because it is going down and he has to run away with his comm once again. Now we had a whole bunch of air down here and a whole bunch of strats which have disappeared off the face of the planet. Guessing they got used to try and do something. Nope, they got retired over here, so they're fine. But honestly, you have all this air. I mean, you have a lot of air. Might as well use it on something. If not just the factories. Well, there's a lot of SAMs actually, haven't said that. A lot of SAMs. Right, another nuke going out, and that is hopping over this way, so maybe the anti-nuke was a target over here. If it was or if it wasn't, it's dead, and we're going to see the rest of this explode in a fiery ball of nuclear power. But checking out here though, this left hand side, the Navy. Oh my word, the Navy. Look at Oliver going. And right now, yes, you want all the volcanoes, because they're all that's keeping this stuff alive right now. Absolutely, yet still occasional things getting through, more stress coming in with more, but they've got nothing done. Looks like they were going for the missile defense right there. Bounce some wobbles off the shields a little bit. How many SMDs do we have? We have 1 loaded there. Unloaded there. We have 1 there. And oh, the launch has been assisted. You're probably assisting the wrong thing. I don't think there's enough. There's definitely not enough. You'd think they build more. You think that well, I say you'd think, but is this a land incursion? Nah. So looks like old Hell has decided to join the ground battle and has got some roving mobility.
Strategic launch detected.
Oh, we have the triple nuke out again from the pony, and I don't think they have 3 anti-nukes. I think they've only got 2 loaded at this point in time. That fat boy needed to go up here and start shelling all this shit. Anyway, well, all this air should have been in here cleaning up solaces. Just spam solaces and wipe that navy. 1, 2, 3 is going to land. Car fucking boom. That's just all the death. I mean, all of it. My word. Alright, which one got the kill on that? 12 kills? No. 13 kills? No. 7 kills? No. 18 kills? 31 kills? 149 kills. Mass killed 412,000. Holy crap. This is the nuke that got through. That's the one that made it. And I think that's probably going to be the collapse. We do have 2 salvations still going. Deponey builds an experimental. What experimental are you built? Mr. Deponey? Where? Won't be a land. Don't think it'd be land experimental. Would it be a?
Strategic launch detected.
Oh, here we go. That's a GC.
Launch detected.
More nukes. Guys are all good to go. And where are these ones headed? Probably for the last 2 remaining salvations, I'd imagine.
Strategic launch detected.
And another nuke. Microchip says, do we have a plan? The plan is to eat nukes. Gonna kill that salvation. That's gonna kill all of this. And this one is going to wipe out the final section. Absolute. Actually, how far do those reach? Because I know they don't have full range nukes, they have a limit. Actually, I'll take that back. It's the red ring. They could nuke all of that, so never mind. It's academic. That though, that is a hell of a hold. A GC stomping up the side here. At any point they could have torpedoed Olaf sitting in there. At any point they could have strap bombed Hell sitting over there. I feel like what they needed to do in this game, stop this, get the salvations, clean up all of this eco, get rid of all so nothing more can be built, and also, quite importantly, find this guy. Find this guy right here. This guy was the highest rated, this guy had all the ideas, and this guy has made the difference. I feel like it's the death throws, Zig's death throws are unbelievable. Where is his commander? Gonna be somewhere safe, I'd imagine. These are all SACUs. No, guess not. What's going on here? Oh, there was an air attempt. Has he managed to rebuild that much air? From these factories up here? Or has he gifted some? Either way, he's managed to build a whole bunch of air back. And has kept things alive, and well, his commander lives. He had to come in with some stress. He might have been able to kill off Hell. Come in with some torps at the same time, kill off Olaf sitting in the water. And yeah. Good. Speaking of sitting in commanders, it's actually him there. It is him there. So Zix is hiding in the water down there. That is a teleport. That's a teleport. He's going somewhere. Going somewhere. It's defensive or offensive? There we are. Right up the back. Radio throws down a stealth gen. Have they got... Oh, don't have Omni at the back there, so he'll be safe for a while until a scout flies over and spots the buildings. I wonder if he's actually in range with tech launchers, I'd imagine. No, he's not. not in range with tank launchers, so he needed to teleport somewhere else to get tank launchers to be in range of this guy. But yeah, I think this is the great death to have a fat boy floating around, but that's a GC wandering up the west side, and it's now just a matter of time. How's your engines, Tony? 448 Tier 1 engineers. That's where Zico's coming from. All these engineers reclaiming everything. Also have 83 T2 subs, 50 cruisers, 68 frigates, 9 subs, T3 subs, 16 torrents. My word. And shards. But another 40 of those. Got a half a dozen aircraft carriers up here building air as well, and it is just incredible. Worst game ever so bad I don't even want to play. Okay, I think I understand that. GC's making this way in, and Restorer's trying to keep it out, but air from Depony is keeping that alive. And Zigster, well, he's hit himself the control K, hiding up here. He's not going to get much more done. There we have it. That was quite the comeback, I would say. It was looking pretty dire when that salvation came out down here, took out the air grids repeatedly. Then there were 2 salvation, then there was a nuke, and all that kind of thing, but the gradual build up and then sudden push of the Navy from Depony, even though it was just T2, absolutely swarmed over the T3 units and basically murdified everything. Absolutely squashed all out. Then all the engineers are grabbing all the reclaim, so a whole lot of things died, and yet still reclaiming. How much mass there? 458,000 mass on the map, no surprise. But yeah, I don't feel like the Salvation's ever targeted all of this properly. Like, these are still alive. Well, these are still alive. Were they rebuilt? I don't think so, because I'm not too sure. There are engineers sitting beside them, so perhaps. Overall, that was just a heck of a settings game. Kind of surprised there weren't more experimentals, there weren't more air snipe attempts from Team 2. But towards the end there was a huge build up for units. We can see Solaces were around. I imagine they're going to go for Olaf over there. There were some strats, there were some whole squad of restorers. They pushed up the side, but they got absolutely destroyed. Unfortunately, they could have picked off 2 comms for 1 if they used that push a little bit better. But that is it. That is what we have. And that's actually going to be me for tonight as well. So forecast for you, running from 5v5 on Serenity Reef, grabbing a bit of a 1v1 action, almost a pushback to an unfortunate catch, some end fun on Tesla Island, followed by a final settings with a whole lot of eco, a whole lot of epicness, salvations. It was a grand match. I shudder to think how long some of these took in real time. Because you know, somebody's going to have a potato, there's going to be lag, there's going to be all sorts of things. Actually, having said that, one of those matches actually did last ages. I think it was the Tesla one. No, not the Tesla Island one. Might have been the first one then. So the first game I cast today, the Serenity Reef. Now get this, I don't understand. I really don't know what the hell went on. The game time was 35 minutes. The real time was 4 hours. 4 hours for a 35-minute game. That was the first one I cast today. The people playing the game, it took them 4 hours to complete. I can't even fathom sticking around for that. I'm sorry. I probably wouldn't. That's just mental. 4 hours for a 35-minute game. But anyhow, you guys are stuck around for me watching 3.5 hours of yapping away to Supreme Commander. Thank you very much for loitering, people. Thank you for those who lurk, and I hope the background noise was worth it. Have yourselves a good day, a good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time zone you're in. Stay safe, take care, and we shall see you next time.